Good evening, peeps. Welcome back to another Seer Saturday. How's everybody doing? I know I'm starting a little early, but it's because, as you can probably see from the description of the title, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a nerdy chat with you guys. So I hope y'all don't mind. I know, I look like a little kindler from the Bronx, but well, have to manage to mess my hair somehow. And it took me the last couple days to get my hair unbraided, but I finally did it. So here we are. Hi, Messa. So, maybe I am very much the American side of YouTube right now. But I think it's starting to blow up at a global scale already. So, kind of wanted to talk about it. I am thinking of doing a video essay at some point, if more is coming out, which, given the indication, there might be more coming out. But, yeah. I really wanted to chat about this video that has recently been going viral on YouTube, which is the one New Ager versus 20 Christians video. The one featuring Jasmine from Jasmine's Garden on TikTok and YouTube, and like where she's doing a debate of 20 Christians. And I put debate in air quotes because honestly, with the way it was formatted, it didn't feel like a debate to me. Because I mean, the title already alone kind of gives that one versus. And I know they really couldn't say her actual title because it's not where the clicks come from, and people wouldn't exactly understand what's going on with her actual title. Because Jasmine is actually an occultist and a spiritualist. She doesn't really consider herself a New Ager, even though some of the stuff is shared between what she practices and the New Age. So it's like I understand why they went with that title, but it's like it's just like a big inaccuracy. But long story short, I kind of feel like that video, and especially the way that some of the people who approached the debate in that video. Hold on. Let me pause. Gotta put a couple disclaimers here. Number one, for most of the Christians in that video, I'm saying most because I can't presume that's all of them, because there's only so much experience that's right there that could be shown from without having the behind the scenes footage. But disclaimer. Number one, I grew up Catholic, so the odds were pretty good that I was going to find a lot of the stuff that the Christians brought up in the video unrelatable, because odds are pretty good they're coming from a Protestant or evangelical branch, which is not what I grew up with. I mean, I did get exposed to it, but it's not the tradition that I grew up with. So there was a lot of things that I felt like, especially the way they approached it, to be rather unrelatable. I wasn't the kind, nor was it very common to find the kind of Christian that was like Bible thumping, at least like in terms of the Catholics. It was more common among Protestants, especially those who tend to go with the sola scriptura, like the scripture only kind of thing. So that's the one thing I have to say beforehand. And then number two, I'm not going to push too many extreme stories. I'm just going to like tell you what I've observed, like my first impressions, what I've observed from watching the video. It took me about a couple of days to like get through it, but I still have the video pretty much fresh in my mind. And I'm going to play advocacy a bit on both sides here, both in terms of like when I was like more Christian versus now, which I kind of lean more towards omnist nowadays, personally, in terms of my religious philosophy. This is not a proselytization piece, please. I'm going to be absolutely clear about that. It's very really for educational purposes. So if you do find this conversation to be a bit overwhelming or a bit triggering, please feel free to pause the video for a little bit and wait until I switch the topic to tarot down below. With that said, you can still add your name to the queue in the meantime while we're discussing this, and feel free to put your inputs in the chat on the top, in my top left corner, or wherever the chat is located in your device. But anyway, now I got those disclaimers out of the way. Let me continue with the discussion, because, like, long story short, I think it was pretty obvious it was not going to be a conversation. It was basically going to be an intellectual war, like a spiritual war, so to speak, the way they approached it. Though, gosh, kudos to Jasmine, because honestly, the way that she approached it was so calm and really authoritative. And again, she's mostly she has a lot of Capricorn placements compared to me. I have a few, but not as many as she does. So huge kudos to her for being able to tolerate a discussion like that. Because honestly, the format 1 versus 20 already, it was going to be very confrontational, and I think especially I can bring a little bit of I mean, I may not have grown up in that kind of world, but I can give a little bit of context based on some personal experiences I've had from actually other Christians back when I was more Catholic. And also I can give references to, like, what other people have told me, both like non-Catholics and also even non-Abrahamic or non-Christian people as well, about their experiences with Christianity. So I can talk about that at least. I am also, I mean, in case you didn't see my stuff in the Twitch description, I have a degree in world religions. So some of the stuff I actually did study as well. So I can at least cite it in terms of, cite these experiences in terms of that way. So to continue on, let me get back on track here. I should have written some notes before I did this. So apologies if it sounds a little choppy. But from the way that it was formatted, obviously it's YouTube, it's the internet. You're going to do anything for clicks. So not honoring the accuracy of Jasmine's title already was going to put in a wedge. Because like I said earlier, she's an occultist, she's a spiritualist. She does not consider herself New Age, even though a lot of the practices that she does would cross over into New Age. And then the other thing that I noticed was that there were not as many research references for the New Age terminology compared to the Christian terminology, which I understand considering that they were citing Bible verses a lot of the time. It makes sense that they would put those references on there, but I wish they just gave just this equal amount of time to explain certain concepts that they were bringing up in the show for those who were not in the know, to give it equal weight in education, especially if it was going to be a debate, which it became abundantly clear it wasn't going to be. And again, some nods to Jasmine for the fact that, like, she was just going like, this is what my experience was. This was my life. This is what I believe at this point in my life. I'm not a proselytizer. I'm just explaining how I see the world, how I see things. This is my experience with the church. This is why I left it. Kept it straight to that. Oh, whoops. Forgot to open it up. My bad, Messa. Sorry. Let me reopen that for you. Okay. There we go. Go ahead, try it again. But anyways, but yeah, where was I going? Where was I going with this? There we go. Okay. Ah, yes. Okay, now I remember. Sorry, peeps. It's just been a very long and a very hot day. But But I literally had like an entire thing in my brain, and then just like all, it's kind of going with the heat. But yeah, the one knock I have to give to this format as well is that, as well, like I said earlier, I don't come from that evangelical background, and I feel like there should have been a wide. Hello? There we go. Sorry about that. But there really should have been a wider range of Christianity in the panel. I do appreciate there was like a huge range of like Black Christianity, but like in terms of denominations, because like even within Christianity, there's like multiple denominations you can see within it. And I think if they showed a range rather than predominantly, like it kind of felt like Pentecostal or evangelical branches, I think we'll have a wider range of experiences that we could see. So, and then also the other thing is like, I feel like with the prompts that they presented, I felt like Jasmine felt like kind of had a little bit of a disadvantage, because it felt like she had to like pick from things that, when you actually think about it, pretty much anybody can agree with these things. Like for example, like crystals, for example, the properties of them. With some of the debates we have about crystals and the debates we have about certain tools, I kind of feel like she got like cornered into like stereotypes that didn't really apply to her, even though I know she selected some of the prompts, but like it just, I feel like if they actually customized it to what she personally saw or what she personally understood, I think it would have been a much more equal footing in terms of, discussion. And then I think also if it was focused more on like cultural exchange about like, what's your experience? What's your theology? Like that kind of discussion, it would have been way more interesting, in my opinion, even though I know, ironically enough, that's the thing that makes less clicks. This is where I kind of hate the algorithm, so to speak, that it's how it gets the clicks and it's how we get the discussions like this. On the other hand, though, this is where it gets to the Christianity thing. Like, let me give. I know as much hot water as they have had in the last several years. As somebody who really was in the thick of that, at one point I almost thought of becoming a nun. Let me give the Christians the benefit of the doubt. Unfortunately, the responses that they gave to Jasmine is very much conditioned in the culture of Christianity, regardless of what denomination you're in, be it Catholicism, be it evangelical, be it Protestant, be it Anabaptist, be it Anglican/Episcopalian. There's kind of this sense of prepare for attack, so to speak, be it spiritual attack or an attack on your beliefs. And so the thing that you have to do is defend it, be it logic, be it doing extra charitable works, be it prayer. It's some sort of defense you have to do. And then in addition, some branches actually take the proselytizing aspect. I mean, they all have that. Even Catholicism, even though we kind of take it, at least like where I come from, we don't take the proselytization as seriously, but it's kind of like we demonstrate, like we just let the stuff that we do speak for itself for the most part. They kind of live up to the saying, freedom without works is dead kind of deal. But yeah, most of the time, like, proselytization is very much woven in. And so with the way that they were citing theology and citing the Bible and really pushing, this is for your salvation, the stuff that you're doing is the devil in disguise, etc., pulling all this kind of rhetoric, it's a defense mechanism. It's part of their duty of, like, you have to do this in order to make sure this person is safe. It feels like a spiritual duty. It's because it's drilled into them. And yeah, I mean, it really demonstrated there were some, it was very much the conversation, like the focus for most of the Christians in that room, from the way, at least the way that it was being portrayed in this video, was very much more so trying to basically argue that she was wrong, that Jasmine was wrong in her beliefs. Even though especially for some Christian branches, the bigger push is to more so look at them in terms of equity and respect, because that is what Jesus' message is to love one another as I love you. Love your neighbor as yourself. Because he talked with those who had been excluded by society. He even talked with, newsflash, non-Christian, like non-Jewish people, non-Christians, and still treated them with the utmost respect. If anything, he was more critical of, ironically, people like some of the debaters that we saw in that video, of having this kind of gauntlet-like approach to theology, instead of putting the focus on the things that are happening in our world right now. Like right now, several places, and I even noticed commonly that a lot of the places that are being affected are around the Pacific Rim. A lot of places are getting hit by earthquakes right now. Colombia, Venezuela, Tonga, though thankfully nobody passed away with that one. Recently, Indonesia, Japan, that's a Colombia, right? The Philippines, Vanuatu, so many places have been hit by earthquakes recently. There are wars and genocides that should not be happening right now. They're happening. So many abuses of power, both within and outside of theology. And the focus instead is about somebody who has a different spiritual view than you. I have a problem with that in some ways. I mean, I know, granted, it's the format of the show. Can't help that. But on the other hand, though, it's like that hyper focus on like having that one different thought. It's like, yeah, I just don't know how. I just don't know how to feel about that. And yeah, I mean, long story short, it's going to be a bit of a hot take. I think it's like if Christianity weren't part of like the big, like the major religions right now, there's a lot of stuff they actually wouldn't be able to actually do. And the way that they treated Jasmine especially is one thing they wouldn't have been able to pass, for sure. And the saddest thing, it's like, it even happens inward as well. And yeah, I feel that. And I'm not showing the video here because I want to save that for like maybe like a video essay later. So that's my issue ultimately. It's like it felt like the debate just wasn't in good faith. So the fact that like Jasmine could keep her composure through all that, and I've actually followed her for a while. I think at this point it's been about 6 years since I followed her on TikTok, and she is a really wholesome creator. And the way that she shares her stories and even her spiritual tips is really insightful. She really is a warm-hearted individual who really knows her stuff and is very willing to share. That's what I really love about her. And it just felt like this defense, like there was like this defensive wall. And then even like there was like a little bit behind the scenes that happened that she described. You can actually get the behind the scenes footage on Dr. Daft's Patreon page. You can actually see like what happened behind the scenes, but she kind of described it a little bit. And well, long story short, it pretty much went the direction that I thought it was going to go, which was kind of like this. There was kind of like this hope of maybe converting a few people. Well, with the way that my algorithm's been going, I don't think that's the way it went. If anything, I feel like it's been a push for more deeper examination of ourselves, and I think in terms of how we approach each other when it comes to our spiritual paths and our thoughts. And I think the reason why I really want to talk about this as well is because this is not what I want this channel to be ultimately. It's like, I don't want the cards to be like a push of my beliefs onto you, but more so a conversation that helps you navigate things more easily, whatever that space should be. And there was one more thing that I wanted to bring up before, and it just blanked. I just blanked again. This is why I need to write notes more sometimes before I start participating in debates. The biggest thing that I think is happening as well with both the debate and also the way they kind of portrayed it, is that I feel like New Age has been portrayed as a very pejorative term, when for some people, myself included, it has been a very legitimate gateway towards defining what my spirituality is. And it's also kind of making fun of, it's like not letting people to explore their own path, and especially like not letting people like explore their whimsy without it being judged. I mean, to kind of go with the nerdy equivalent, it's like how people mock video games as being an unattractive hobby when it comes to dating, for example. It's just not helping things. And then I think if anything, it's also harming Christianity's image too, because there's a lot that it had to get over, like colonialism, racism, enslavement, like misuse of the word, misogyny, and there have been so many stories again, even if you put those aside, just the pushiness of the proselytization, it, like, people may have already had a hard time trying to get back in, and this kind of portrayal of how people have been treating Jasmine online, it just makes people just less likely to look into the history of Christianity and what it entails. And yes, I am. Yeah, it just makes it less likely to people for research, because some types of Christianity actually do have some pretty important messaging, like taking care of your neighbors, virtues, what they call the gifts of the Spirit, and even though, yes, there's a big thing about, at least in the Christianity that I was under, there's a big thing about like hierarchy, but there's also just as much talk about like your own experiences with like God and the saints and various different and the angels and the saints and various spiritual beings that help us and guide us. And depending on what culture you come from, we also include the ancestors as well. There's a variety of Christianity that, unfortunately, with the way this debate portrayed itself, it got lost in the shuffle. Obviously, it's only 20 people, it's only 20 women, and with the duration of the video, it can only go so far. from what I could tell from the end credits, there might be a part 2 to this. Who knows what it could be? But she did do ones where it was 20 New Agers versus a Christian, and that Christian actually did appear in this recent video. So like, and that actually was starting to pick up visibility as well. And then they even made a Christians versus New Agers video as well. I have yet to watch that one, but it's not the first time she's touched on this. And I did watch a little bit of the one Christian versus 20 New Agers video, and from what I can tell, I've gotten about halfway through that one at this point. I had to spread it out because there was just so much I had to really think about in terms of my own beliefs and in terms of how would I have approached some of the questions or some of the things they put up on the screen. And I found the New Ager, like the one Christian versus 20 New Agers one, I felt like it was a lot more productive of a conversation from what I saw, because at least they were like, I think if they focused on like, okay, can we clarify what this means? Based on what we're talking about here, this is what I see it as. What do you see it as? Like, I felt like it was more of a conversation that happened with this compared to, like, not that there wasn't a conversation with the 20 questions versus Jasmine debate, but it didn't feel as, I really felt the hostility. And I guess I can tell you my own story, because unfortunately it's not even limited to even people outside the faith. It could happen to even people within the faith as well. So, like I said to you guys, I grew up Catholic, so I technically haven't left the faith. I still have my ideological qualms that have changed how I practiced quite a bit, but I haven't exactly gone as far as like break away completely. I mean, I basically switched from Catholic to more UU personally, and I think it's also because I think I'm lucky that I've dodged a lot of the adverse experiences that people tend to have when it comes to the church. There's still experiences that I wish I didn't have, or I wish I could have had more of, but compared to most of my peers who have switched or left entirely, it's a very different experience what I have. But even so, there are some experiences that some of my non-Christian and even my non-Catholic peers have talked about to me, that it wasn't until it started happening to me when I was attending grad school that I finally understood. So, as you all see in my Twitch description, I attended grad school for a world religions master's. And, well, this was around when, like, I think I was, like, starting to kind of really explore my own spirituality at that point. I mean, I was already having, like, I was doing, like, little dips into different spiritualities, but, like, around grad school periods when I really dove in more seriously. I took, like, entire priestessing courses. I took things about the divine feminine, all these various things. Like, I really dove into various topics. And I went up to Boston for my next to final semester because I needed like one more in-person class. It got waived because of the lockdown, but I needed one more, and the waiving stopped around like my final year of grad school. So I went up. It was during the winter, and I was staying in a hostel in Cambridge, around Back Bay. Actually, not Back Bay. Chinatown. Around Chinatown. But I always got off at Back Bay whenever I wanted to go to like a jazz club. But long story short, I was chatting with a bunch of MIT students who just got out of a hackathon, and we were chilling up in like the cafeteria area. They had like a bunch of tables that people can just chill and play games on, and we happened to talk about, of course, because of my degree, I talked about spirituality. And actually, one of the programmers, I ended up friending him on LinkedIn. He actually based one of his programs on the multiple spiritual levels in indigenous Costa Rican theology, which I found really cool. And then I talked about some of my own beliefs that, I mean, long story short, with how I see it, I feel like everybody's after a very similar thing. We all have different paths, but kind of like how Lara Croft talks about a monomyth, I think similarly, we're all going after the central sense of peace. How we see it and how we experience it and how we go towards it, it's very different with all of us. But I think there's a universal sense of wanting a sense of inner peace and centeredness and connection. Whether it's God or some higher power, but certainly to each other and this planet. That's a big thing. And so I explained this, and they pretty much, like, these scientists understood it immediately. And then meanwhile, there's like this one guy with some pretty nicely styled dreads, I have to add, who was like one row back. And so I think he was listening in on the conversation we had. And so I thought to myself, like, oh yeah, it looks like we're going to be up here a while. And it's like, I wasn't going to class the next day. So, like, we were off because there was a snowstorm coming in. So I was like, oh yeah, I have all these berries that they're probably on like their last days of freshness. So I might as well like take today and share them. Because like after that I was going to go with my mom in a different part of Boston after that. I'm going to meet up with her. So I was about to go to the fridge to grab the berries out, and then Dread's guy comes up to me and takes me aside before I even get to the fridge, and says like, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation, and I found it pretty interesting. However, there's a few things that I would like to discuss with you about. And well, he asked me about my theology, if I was a Christian, and at the time I still did identify with that publicly. I still kind of do. I'm like, outside of this space, I don't really talk about this kind of stuff too much. So yeah, I still said that I was Christian, that I was Catholic, and then it's like he pulled out this Instagram post about like how all these other theologies they talk that I just mentioned their prophecies didn't come true, but then meanwhile with the Bible, so many of these ones come true. And it's like, and then with the way that he was even talking down, like he even talked down my birth faith essentially, and it's like I pretty much knew the trajectory he was going down. It's like, it's not the first time I've experienced it before either. Like, there's so many times where they say, Catholicism is witchcraft in disguise, or it's like they pass down witchcraft. It's like, well, and I'm like, well, not the first time I heard this, and well, if they saw me now, anyway. And keep in mind, I'm a millennial. I grew up fresh out of the Satanic Panic. So some of the arguments that they were giving me, like that this guy was giving me about like how this is the one true faith, and you got to listen to Jesus and read the Bible thoroughly. I have heard it all. And especially it spiked up when I was in grad school, ironically enough. Like that kind of stuff. Like everyone was saying, like, you don't need to study all these other religions. You just need to focus on Christianity. And literally, ironically, the reason why I picked this grad school that I went to is because it actually focused on everything, including atheism and Christianity, if anything. So, so like, I kind of knew the angle was going at. So I thought like it was late at night. It was like around maybe like 11 to midnight, somewhere around then. And I was like thinking to myself, like, I know the angle is getting at, so I'm just gonna let him do his proselytization thing and then get back to that group that I was having more fun with. And then so he kept on asking me like what I thought about this, and so I cited everything that I learned, and I really had to emphasize like, look, I'm not a priest or a spiritual authority, so I can't speak on this. But as a theologian, and based on all the experiences that I've had, and I mostly was citing Buddhism and some of the Christianity that I did have memorized, because again, Catholicism is not really that Bible thumping. compared to Protestant branches. So it's like, based on what I do personally believe and what I do understand and experience, here is what I saw this as. And so I explained my stance, and I thought it would be enough to be like, for him to like, just like, okay, I understand, like, she's not a mark, have a nice day. But no, instead he was like, I could tell you're a very well-spoken and smart young lady, but right now I'm hearing fantasy, like Pharisee, and what I need to hear more is of the spirit. So go and read this book. And I was like, okay, have a good day. Like, didn't talk to me after that. Thank goodness. So went to the fridge, got my berries, and hung out with the MIT people for the rest of the night until the next day. They were really cool. I got some of their LinkedIns. But I admit the Pharisee comment did kind of get to me. It almost got to me, and I guess in a way it still kind of did, considering that I'm talking about it now. But yeah, for anybody who's not in the know in terms of Christianity, or any Abrahamic faiths, Pharisee is the scholarly class in Judaism. And Jesus had a lot of beef with the Sadducees and the Pharisees in particular. And so, in other fancy words, in Christianese, he was basically calling me a hypocrite. He basically called me a hypocrite. Oh, man. That was awkward as hell. As a shame too, because the guy was actually pretty nice before all that occurred. So I was like, oh man. But yeah, like when that happened, it was like, I thought about all the friends I had who had gone through similar things, especially the non-Christians who had gone through things like this with Christians. And I was like, dang, I get it now. Like, I mean, not that I didn't get it before. I mean, I already knew that. I mean, I don't treat my friends like that. But like, when I really witnessed that, I was like, shoot, I get it now. This really sucks. So like, my aim when I studied that degree was to make sure nobody else felt that way. And when I saw this debate, I was like, I originally was gonna like let the internet do its thing, but it's like, you know what? I kind of, even though I'm not really a person who does viral discussions, it was like one of those things where it's like, you know what? I just gotta like, I kind of want to throw my hand in the ring. And it's like, on the one hand, I understand where the Christians are coming from in terms of like, there's kind of like this, there's this inherent feeling of like duty of like, this is what I have to do as a tenet of my faith to really go preach the word of God and Jesus Christ. However, the way they did it, the way they were doing it, it was just like, again, on the one hand, it's like, I understand it. It's like there's kind of like this defensive maneuver, almost akin to like a trauma response, where there's like the sense of having to respond in almost a defensive manner of like, this is what I have to do. And yet, I think this is why deconstruction has also been popular in recent years, because that kind of, I mean, we often emphasize like narrow casting or narrow focus as a method of moving things forward, but then narrow casting also, unfortunately, makes you not open to any other possibilities that might actually, if anything, fit your philosophy and your experience much better. And that's what Jasmine found with her spirituality. And well, thankfully, she got a pretty good conversation out of this, and two of the women that she debated against actually were interested in having a follow-up conversation with her. And that follow-up just happened just yesterday. I posted it in the link of my YouTube description of this channel if you want to watch that one, because I found it rather interesting. I'm about like 3/4 of the way through that one. But yeah, long story short, and I think for anybody who is deciding to go in the direction of having spiritual conversations, I especially implore you to not focus so much on conversion. I think instead, what would make it much more educational, and I think certainly a lot more convincing if you are going to go that route, but I really emphasize maybe not. Most people don't like, especially once you get to a certain point in your life, you just don't want to do that. I think instead it might be focused more on like perspective and exchange. And I have been fortunate to witness conversations like that too. Like, I have friends of various religions, like I mentioned earlier. I'm actually friends with a lot of priests, funnily enough. And one of these days, after he got ordained, one of mine and Rudsy's mutual friends, he's Jewish, happened to come over that one night for dinner with us, and then my friend who's a priest happened to come over, and they had this really interesting conversation about Jewish and Catholic rites, especially reconciliation, aka confession, and in comparison to therapy, because he's a therapist too. So like they talk about how each of their respective fields works. And it was just so interesting to listen to. And that's what I was kind of hoping for with this, and we just didn't get that. So that's what I'm hoping in the future, Dr. Daff. If Dr. Daff happens to be watching this video, I doubt it. I switched the title for the sake of clarity on Twitch, not so much on YouTube. But if she happens to watch this video, I hope in the future, if she does happen to continue this format, maybe start with groups, and then maybe go down, and maybe if you are going to go refine the verses format, maybe go more in terms of having questions that actually reflect the person's experience rather than an overarching umbrella experience sometimes. Because I could tell, again, there are some things that I feel like that didn't apply to Jasmine too well, that I think if they customized it a bit more to what she personally experienced and then she could explain it further, it would make it a whole lot more interesting to learn. But yeah, I think I might stop talking about this part for this moment, just for the sake of helping people get back to a safer space, as well as maybe save some of the points for a proper video essay when more data comes out, because apparently Jasmine is going to be featured in more episodes down the line, and no doubt she's probably going to have some TikToks that might talk about this a bit more. So I'm going to save it for that, and hopefully I should have more intelligent things to say. But yeah, I have way more stories like this in terms of my own experience, but for right now, I'm going to spare you guys, and we're going to get back to the fun part, which is the tarot. So, did it convert? Let me check. Shoot. Yes, it did. Okay. So it is officially switched. So now that we have switched topics to the topic of the hour, let us go ahead and take a bit of a moment to do an energetic switcheroo. I've got some pines from Glastonbury that I purchased out of a shop that I saw in Silver Spring. Here's my lighter. There we go. And yeah, Glastonbury is one place I've always wanted to go to. Still hoping to go there. It's because they're the witchiest city in England. Energy, just switch topics, and then just gonna take a little bit of a deep breath here. Just let ourselves be nice and present. And we let ourselves be open to whatever messages that need to come through today, in the here and now, that whatever messages we need to hear today are in perfect time, perfect clarity, and in our highest and greatest good. So the people shall live. Amen, aho, and so it is. Your aura looks like the Spanish flag. I think I might need a moment. Because I also need to drink more too. That's the other thing. Okay, tell you what. How about I give you your reading first, since like you're basically the first one in the queue. Because it looks like, where art thou, Q? Where are you? There we are. Looks like Shadow Star might not be here yet. So how about I read you first, and then if you still feel like I need to do I need to get a healing, I'll get one. So, what's your question? Yeah, I know. I got a little heated. Heated. What's up? There we go. Sorry about that. I need to get this mic repaired. I don't know what it is that it keeps on like disconnecting. So maybe some sort of like loose component or something. General for the week. Okay, no problem. It's like on the one hand, there's the side of me that you rarely see outside of the comfort and privacy of my own home. I think only Hyun and maybe Runcy might know about it, but like, I kind of realized, like, through this new moon ceremony that I attended last week. Yeah, it did. It did. Because my mic disconnected. But yeah, when I went to like the new moon ceremony last weekend, it was like, I know I have a lot of fire signs, but ironically, I don't really use the fire sign energy too much. Like, I tend to, like, turn the fire down, like, to, like, a low simmer, and it's, like, sometimes it just, you might need to turn up a little bit to a fry. And I need to get used to doing that sometimes. And I find that kind of scary sometimes. But like Hyun said, with that reference to the Full Moon Cafe book series, that at some point you have to go, like, skipping a phase doesn't mean that like that phase never happened. It's just delaying it to an older age until you actually do it. So, if anything, it's good to practice now when you're still aware, because then it doesn't creep out in the most inappropriate of places. All right, where are you? Okay. Okay. All right, let's see what we got for you for this week. So, got 4 cards for you for things to keep in mind during the week. So, first one we got is 4 of Wands. I'm thinking I'm feeling for this spread, it's kind of like beginning, middle of the week, and then the end. So we got the Four of Wands for our first part. So, first piece of advice I'm feeling for the general of this week is if there's any like accomplishments or things that you succeeded at doing during the work week or just during this period in general, take some time to celebrate it, because even if it's not a so-called traditional milestone, it's still a milestone worth celebrating. And remember as well that there's company to celebrate it with too, so you don't have to do it alone either. Enjoy, like, if you have the warm vibes and things that really make you happy, enjoy it, celebrate it, because you deserve it, and you deserve to be happy. So, secondly, these two wanted to come out together, so let's see what we got. So I feel like this might be like a middle of the week kind of deal. But other things. We got the Three of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. So I'm feeling this further sense that whatever that is that you're celebrating, and I just noticed it's like kind of like a rainbow effect in the video because of my lamp. I didn't notice that until now, which is kind of cool. But anyways, Three of Pentacles and Ten of Pentacles. I'm feeling even more that community is going to be a big thing for you. Community and cooperation. Because collaboration is going to be your biggest asset this week. So maybe call up some friends and see, hey, would you like to hang out? Or spend some time with your spend some time with your family. Remembering that you have abundance within and beyond traditional means. Could be monetary, could be a windfall, but I think it's more so in terms of abundance of connections. That's what I'm feeling with the Four of Wands, especially. It's an abundance of connection. It's an abundance of people that work together. I'm thinking of that song that you shared during the last listening party. That you did, Messa, the one with that Sicilian song that you played for us, with that music video that had like the various people in the village singing and dancing together. That's what I was feeling with like pulling out these cards. And like it's like pay attention to your village is what I'm feeling, and work together. So the final card that I got for you for this is the Page of Wands. So it's a very Wands and Pentacles heavy reading I'm getting here. That's it. Aria Capolina. Yeah, like the music video is the thing that I can't forget about it, because like it was just it felt like a place that like I want to hang out there. I want to go there. This looks fun, and the food looks amazing. But yeah, Page of Wands. So Wands, it's about the first stirrings of passion, the drive towards your goals. It could be, it's like a different emotional expression, but it's like more so like emotional expression, like aimed towards something. Emotional expression with a purpose. That was the word I was looking for. And in this case, it's like the stirrings of creativity here. It's like the enthusiasm when you finally get that idea that just sounds amazing, that just works. So if there's one thing that I feel like is emphasized for you to do this upcoming week, is to find ways that you can play with the material that you have, with the ideas that you encounter, and see where those threads go. See where it goes. I feel like it feels like the theme for this season, between now and transitioning into 2027, is embrace your whimsy, play with your ideas. Don't be afraid to get a little messy and see what comes out of the other side. It also reminds me of this TV show called Barakamon, which is about this calligrapher who gets sent to, I think it like someplace that's kind of the equivalent of, I think it's Okinawa that he gets sent to, because like the accent kind of reminds me of Okinawa. But he basically gets sent to like a beach house in Okinawa to find his own more emotive calligraphy style. And there's this one scene that happens, I think around episode 1, where he just assembles all this paper, and then he just throws around ink and paints with a giant brush, and then like after a while he just collapses back in a complete mess and exhaustion. But also, for the first time in what felt like forever for him, he actually started to feel excited about calligraphy again. Because before, he was very stuck in his ways, stuck in the rules, very textbook with his calligraphy, which, like, I mean, it was good, but there was no, I like to quote my sensei here, there's no spirit of the line with the way that he was writing his calligraphy. And so, even though, yeah, it was the beginning of his journey, he was starting to figure out what that spirit meant, finally, and why his father sent him down to this place to understand. So similarly, I feel like this is kind of beautiful experimentation that you could do with whatever ideas that you come across this upcoming week, that you can play with those ideas and see where it goes. And the other thing about Barakamon, maybe this whole spread is a recommendation for the TV show Barakamon. It's a really good show. And then also, like, the other thing was like community. It was like a very big community piece as well, because the villagers were a big aspect as to how he started getting more creative with his writing style as well. So gotta write the show down. It's a really good show. I think the whole thing's on YouTube. Not to be confused with Barakamon. It's a really good show. And then, in terms of my Queen Herbie rec, chakras. We are no longer accepting negative energies in our space. So, I think also might be prudent as well, especially if you're thinking of doing a cleanse. Definitely take some time and cleanse yourself likewise afterwards. Because you've been doing a lot of it for me, and I really appreciate it. But also make sure you take care of yourself too. Also, it's a good song. It's a good song. It's one of my favorite music videos as well. So, but yeah, that's what I got for you, Mesta. But yeah, I definitely need to get more used to like doing more scripted content at some point. Not only in terms of live stuff, but also just life in general. Oh, you've listened to it. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, you were talking about the Audia Capolina. It's a really good song too. Yeah, it's really good. I want to listen to it again after this. Because it's good. It's good. Okay. Wait, what? That's the only one you... What? You know it! Okay. Bruh, I love it too. Like, I still listen to it sometimes. Wow. But yeah. Come to think of it, I don't think I pulled it for you, did I? Because I know I pulled like several Queen Herbie songs, but I don't remember pulling this one for you, did I? But yeah, it's a good song. Like, this one's a good song. I like it too. I like the aesthetic of the music video as well. Like the screen, like the the thumbnail is kind of hilarious. But it's a good song. It's a really good song. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I know, like, yeah, because I think that one it pops up more easily on Spotify, I think. I'm still need to. Okay, y'all need to help me with this, because I want to get at least one piece of like one shirt from Queen Herbie's tour merch, and it's actually starting to sell out, so I'm gonna have to make it quick. Unfortunately, the tour shirts they're already too small for me at this point, so I can't get those. But the ones that are left over that I could still fit into, I am deciding between the High Priestess shirt and this tarot tee that the back it says, "Tell me what the cards say." I'll show you what it looks like. Okay. So, I really want to get I'm getting this one for sure. I want to get this bracelet. It has Howlite Obsidian. And then I want to get one of these two shirts. Trying to stand between this one and this one. Yeah. Alternatively, I could just do the Queen Classic logo, which is this one. But but yeah, for sure I'm getting one of these. Because she has a necklace version of it. I want to get the bracelet version. Oh, I love Queen Herbie too! Yeah! Yukiko Matsuri. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Dandashi desu. Did not know why I broke into Japanese all of a sudden. Sumimasen. But anyway, welcome to the stream. Great to see you here. I studied abroad in Japan actually earlier this year, so but yeah, welcome to the stream. I do tarot every Saturday. It also happened to come with a nerdy chat in the beginning. Nice. Gosh, it's been like, at this point, I think it's like next week will make it a month since I left, and it's like, I want to go back. I want to go back so bad. I miss it so much. I was in, oh my god, that's a good question. I think it was the people, because I was down south in Fukuoka, and everybody was so nice. Like, they were willing to talk with me. If there were times where, like, I was kind of stuck on words, they were really patient with me, and we would like switch back and forth between Japanese and English. They were so encouraging. I really miss them. I made so many friends down there too, and I just miss them a lot. Yes! Yes! Like, the other thing that I noticed is that a lot of the stuff they talk about is more related to Tokyo or Kyoto. Not so much down south or in the country. That's what I'm noticing. Then again, my main experience is in Fukuoka, like mostly in Kyushu actually, in Fukuoka, Kumamoto, Yufuin, those kinds of places. Dazaifu. Those are the 4 places I've been to. But yeah, everyone's so kind. And like the old people especially, they are so chill and they are like they do not give a damn. They just say what like this they just say how it is. I like it. I actually went to a pretty cool tarot bar in Hakata, which if you happen to go down south when you go back, I recommend it. It's called Soul in Attic. There's a tarot bar. Yes. There was a tarot bar. And the guy who does the readings is really good. He's really good. Yeah, I just got like a small reading from him for like 2,000 yen. But yeah, the man knows his stuff. He's good. I mean, he had to use Google Translate for a portion of it, but I mean, the stuff he read, it made sense. Because I do have a tendency to rush. Oh, nice! I have a friend in Osaka, too. He had friends in Oita, and he had friends in Sendai. Nice. So, yeah, like, you're more down south, too. Oh, good question. So I've been doing tarot at this point. I think as of this year, I think I just hit 15 years, or about to hit 15 years. So I've been doing it for a while. In terms of, like, public like this, this year make it, yeah, about 4. About 4 like this. 6 if you include professionally, like actually getting money for it. Oh, shoot. But I guess we will wait for a little bit. Yep, the 3-minute ad. So we'll give a little. But I guess we'll wait a little bit, and then I can give more of my backstory. Don't want to be negative. My friend from Sendai went looking for her parents in 2011 and never came back to the forum I know her from. Oh. Was she an adoptee by chance? Or did you just get separated? Oh, the one up north, right? Near Fukushima. Oh, yeah. We had when I was in high school, we had a sister school in Hachinoe, which was about, I think it was like about an hour from Fukushima, if I remember correctly. Like, it's like not that far from the disaster zone. So, we did like a Lenten fast to get donations to put towards the disaster relief up there. And then come to think of it, wasn't there like a big earthquake that happened up there earlier this year, like in April? And thankfully, like the disaster, like the stuff in Fukushima didn't get like rolled up again. It was just like fine after that. Because there was like there was an earthquake that happened earlier up there. And then, well, obviously, literally the week after I came back from Japan, there was the Kumamoto earthquake. It was actually, apparently, it was so strong, it was felt as far as Seoul, South Korea. But yeah, I wonder what's going on with the Pacific Rim, because I noticed that like all the recent earthquakes that have happened, like the stuff in Colombia, Venezuela, Tonga, Vanuatu, the Philippines, Indonesia, Japan, pretty much all of the earthquakes that we've seen, like the major earthquakes we've seen so far, they've been part of or right near the Pacific Rim. Almost every single one of them so far. I wonder what's going on. Like, you have Japanese friends close, and you've got Otaku close. I'm still mourning our friendship. I hope she's safe. Me too. Me too. I hope so. Yeah, that's hard. I need to message my Japanese friends after the stream's over for sure. But yeah, we got pretty close because we were there for like 5 weeks. I was in Fukuoka for 5 weeks. And the manager was hilarious. Like, he was like, you came at the worst season. You should have come during the fall. And I'm like, that's it. This is all I could afford. I'm sorry. It was like, you also need to stay here at least a year to get used to the culture. That part I kind of agree. I think, like, if I had more time, I would have gotten used to it a lot more. Okay. But yeah, to answer your question, so yeah, I've been doing tarot for a while, 15 years. 5 as a like about 15 years. I think it's like this year I'll make it 4 years as like a seller, 6 if you include like the online shop that I barely got customers for like a year and a half. But yeah, I've been doing this for a while, and I do a variety of mediums. Obviously, tarot's my biggest one. I also do Sakura cards from Cardcaptor Sakura and Cloud cards. I also love the Queen Herbie deck a lot. Like, the moment she announced this, I was like, yoink! I pre-ordered it immediately. And I'm so glad I did. Shout out to Shabala, Queen of Lions, for collaborating on this. She actually does really good human design readings as well. She's also Queen Herbie's personal spiritual advisor as well. So she really put a personal touch to these. She hasn't updated the prompts yet, though. She really needs to do that. But it's really good. I really love this deck. And I really wanted to go on the tour to, like, thank her for doing all this, because, like, her music literally changed my life. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to make the tour. But I'm hoping next time she goes on tour that I'll be able to actually make it this time. And I mean, she literally said, like, to anybody who wasn't able to show up at the tour, but, like, still, like, hope for the best from afar, I felt it. And I was like, yes, love you too, Queen. I miss you so. Like, I wish I saw you. Queen Herbie's so cool. But yeah, I also got I got runes as well, and a couple of oracles that I got today. I've got my Archangel Michael deck. For some reason, I felt like pulling him out again, and I also pulled my Isis Oracle deck because she also wanted to come out today. Sometimes, like, the decks just want to, like, I'm kind of intuitive, so sometimes, like, the deck, like, I get, like, whispers of, like, decks that want to come out to play, like, hey, pick me. And then I also do this thing called a chakra checkup, where I use my crystals and my crystal pendulum to double check on, like, your energy, and I can give, like, a few tips as to how you can recover. I'm eventually gonna get like a Reiki certification at some point, and I can do, like, the healings on air, but for right now, it's supposed to be like giving, like, tips as to how you can get things back into balance. And I just remembered the last thing that I wanted to bring up during the previous section, but I'm gonna save it probably for I'm probably gonna save it for, like, maybe towards the end. Or actually, no. I'm gonna say it real quick before I forget. So you probably noticed in the title I mentioned the 20 questions versus Jasmine's Garden, that viral video that was on YouTube earlier. And so I kind of, like, balanced it. But, like, long story short, I was like, the approach like, long story short, I wish the debate was actually truly a debate or like a conversation about differences rather than feeling like as if it was like a push to convert. That's what it felt like the video was doing in some respects, or like the way that it was edited or the way that people were going about it. And so I kind of played a bit like at both sides, but I kind of leaned more towards Jasmine's side because the way that she was able to handle that discussion was pretty incredible. Because like she kind of went like, look, this is my life, this is what I believe, this is how I see things, essentially. And it's different from your view, and that's perfectly fine. And to kind of play a little bit of advocate for like Christianity for a split second, because I was Christian once upon a time, like Catholic specifically. So there were some things I just did not relate to at all on the other side. Unfortunately, some of the things that they did, it's like kind of part of the theology, that proselytizing and that pushing for salvation kind of deal in some sects. And then also the other thing is, for some people, yeah, maybe tools like this might be a little bit too overwhelming for them. That maybe something as simple as like going to church and praying there, or just praying with just your two hands and your soul is all it takes. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, if anything, some spiritual people do that too. They keep it simple as well. And then there are others like myself who I still do that. I meditate, I pray, I do these rituals and stuff that are just simply just me being present and being open to what the divine has to tell me. But sometimes, like Jasmine described, you might need a few tools to make the message just a little bit more obvious, a little bit clearer. It's like how we use a thesaurus or a dictionary to get clearer with words. And I think that's the other thing that I think people tend to lose when it comes to conversations like these, is that sometimes there are some things that are just beyond words, that even if we have the same word for something, it could be an entirely different meaning for each of us. And so we got to be patient. We got to be absolutely patient with ourselves and each other and see the differences between our words until eventually we can come to some understanding, whatever that is. So that's the thing I wanted to bring up earlier. I just totally forgot what it was until just now. Pardon me for the crossover, but it just came up and I was like, I need to say it. And then the rest I will say for if I do an essay, be it on Substack or on my YouTube channel, there's more there. There's going to be more there for sure. Anyway, enough blabbing for me. Would you like a reading, Yukiko? My only stipulation is I don't do like what I like to call third-party surveillance. I don't like presuming other people's actions about like, is this person cheating on me? What are the person's thinking of me, etc. Most I can do is maybe like look at the vibe of a situation, or how a potential connection could be. But yeah, otherwise, go nuts. World's your oyster. That is true too. I could pull that. I admit, like, I'm kind of new to those kinds of pulls. Like, I've only been doing that for this past year. I forgot to mention, I've only been doing tarot on here. Like, next month will make it a year since I started pulling cards on Twitch, which is kind of crazy to think about, that my year could change so dramatically. Like, literally in one reading, in like one 4-hour session, my life totally changed. My mind's blown. You applied to an electrical apprenticeship and I have the test in 5 days. It's advanced algebra and some geometry. I've been studying for 2 months every single day. Do you see me doing well? I mean, just from you telling me that. I mean, come on. You have been dedicated, buddy. You have been dedicated. I think that alone should tell you the answer. One question. Is there like a practice test that they have for you? Or I see. I see. Only 5? Huh? Oh. Hmm. But yeah, I mean, from the practical stance of things, yeah, I think you're gonna be just fine. And well, I mean, it's not it's not like it's not like college where it's like you have that like you have like those SAT things like at first you don't succeed, try again, even though ironically with the SATs you get more than one shot. But anyway, um I admit, yes, no questions are not the greatest when it comes to the cards, but I guess I can like check on the overall vibe of what's to come to give you a little bit of a confidence boost and see where you can focus your energy. Ooh. And 2 cards came out, which I think will relate to your situation pretty well. Yeah, let's see what else we got here. Because I want to... Oh my god, that card's way too perfect, honestly, with what you're doing, actually. Because it gives engineering vibes the way it's designed. So, here's a piece of advice for this venture into electrical engineering. We got strength. Let me zoom in. I need to get one of those black magic screen switchers. But yeah, got strength. And I just thought of, don't know why I thought of Twilight, where it's just like, and so the lion fell in love with the lamb. And I've not thought of Twilight in so long. Why now? Brain, why now? But anyway, but yeah, I think at this point you've done a lot of preparation. I think it's just to keep your skills sharp and really focus on what you intend to do at that apprenticeship. And at this point, it's mainly about like trusting your instincts and your abilities. And knowing that like whatever is going to be, like, regardless of what the result is, you're going to find your right fit. And especially if you feel as if that electrical engineering is the thing that you really see yourself doing, like, well, it's electrical apprenticeship, so I mean, it is a kind of engineering. But if that's the thing you see yourself doing, at that point, it doesn't matter what the outcome is. The more important thing is you actually articulated what it is that you actually want. And so you need to try, like, there might be the nerves, obviously the classic nerves of like, oh my gosh, it's a test. But there's also the fact that, like, you're going through your anime arc at this point. You prepared for this role up to this point. You might as well see it through and see what happens. And when you finish that test, you just have to go in there with the faith that you did everything you could. I see. Yeah, it's like at that point, it's like you have to have faith that you did everything you could. And again, you got another shot. So it's like it's basically have faith. Is what I'm seeing with this card. It's like really have faith. And I think in the meantime, the next thing that I got here is the 3 of Cups, is to remember who your friends are and remember your community. Celebrate the accomplishments. Like, again, regardless of the result that you get, remember your community, because whatever it is, you don't have to navigate through this alone. Maybe you can talk with like your fellow apprentices and see where they're navigating next, because they might even know some other programs that you could try, or even job opportunities in the future. So you never know. I'd say if you can, maybe try and find like a guild or an association, see if you can make a few friends in the meantime. Make some connections. And I think it's also just being able to see yourself through the gaze of their love as well. To know that, like, again, regardless of the result, that you are love and you are loved. I mean, the cups are very emotional. Here it is free, my friend. Evangelist 808, welcome to the stream. Donations are optional. You can use my coffee page if you want. But yeah, all you have to do is just jump in the queue. It is !join. No problem. So in terms of the final card I got here, the way it's designed really reminds me of like a scientist's or an engineer's mind, which I find really cool. Because it's got the Fibonacci spiral. The Ace of Swords. Right? I really like it. Because it has like all these equations and molecules and stuff. Yeah, it does! It does, doesn't it? But yeah. I think especially during this period, I feel like it's also a call for you at this point. In addition to keeping on doing what you're doing in terms of your preparations for your test, I think it's also just to pay attention to how your mind works, like what helps it work best. So then that way, when you get to the test itself, you can set yourself up for, like, based on the parameters of the test, you can set yourself up with the best chances of success. And pay attention to your ideas. But yeah, I think it's a call for you to really, I think it's also a call for you to really like pay attention to your community and pay attention to your genius. And I think you're I feel like this is the vibe that you're gonna be okay. I'm feeling the vibe you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be just fine. So don't worry, Yukiko. I think you're gonna be okay. And before you go, a song. I gotta get you a song at least. As a fellow Queen Herbie fan. I mean, I've been following her every single time, but like, I like giving what I like to call Queen Herbie prescription. Okay. New magazine exclusive. Yeah, I think it's like at this point your focus is mostly on it's mostly on just like leaving an impact. Leaving an impact, whatever that impact is. I think it's like social and personal impact is what I'm feeling here. Also, pardon me for not putting the full title. I just didn't want it to like get flagged by my Twitch censors. But it's a good song. I like it. Yeah, that's what I got for you, Yukiko. Thank you so much for tuning in, and you're welcome to keep me in the background. I like to keep things pretty chill. Like I like playing chill hop in the background. If I had a more flexible like copyright permission, I would play like no doubt I'll be playing these in the background, and I'll be telling you in real time. Let's see what's coming up, and then I'll be talking to you afterwards like, okay, this is what's going on. But you know how it is. Like, it's not the Wild West of streaming anymore. They're gonna go after us. So, nice. Yep. Help you enjoy the show. Oh my god. Now I'm thinking of the show. Welcome to the show. Oh, oh man. But yeah, her songs are good. Everybody hasn't listened to her stuff. I recommend it. Anyway, if you are still here, the Evangelist 808, you are next, my friend. Come to think of it, have I seen you at a stream before? Like a different one? Because I feel like I've seen you before. Yeah, what's your question? I mean, the only thing I don't do is like third-party surveillance, which is like presuming everybody else's thoughts, like is this person cheating on me, or what do they think of me, etc. Outside of that, go nuts. World's your oyster. Ugh. Oh, you don't? Okay. Yeah, I am on Twitch a lot, though. I raid quite a number of people. Yeah. Yeah, that question I can't answer, unfortunately. I don't do third-party surveillance. Sorry. I can't really presume emotions like that. I mean, I could check on the vibe of a possible connection, but, like, I can't presume feelings like that. Yeah, I could do a general. Yeah, I could do that. Totally. Alright, let's do this. Alright. Oh, it's been hot as hell. It's been very humid. Also, was anybody here in this chat within visibility of the solar eclipse that happened the other day? Because I bet it must have been cool. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Ah, trees got in the way. Nature be naturing. Though, interestingly enough, it has a really interesting like when eclipses happen, there could be like a really interesting effect with how shadows come down. Like I was here in the States during that Great American Eclipse that happened a few years ago. Not the one that happened last year, but like a different one that happened during the lockdown. And it was kind of interesting, like when you looked down at like if you were in the trees and then you looked down at the shadow, it made a different shape. Like you could see like crescents on the ground if you took pictures and you caught the sunlight just right. It was so interesting. I'll see if I can find some photos that kind of showed that, but it was really, really cool. But yeah, I really want to see a solar eclipse in totality at least once. Here's what I got, Evangelist 808. Let's see what we got for you. All right. Okay. So we got the Ten of Swords here. So I'm feeling like this love, like the love that's emerging here, it feels like it's been like a long time coming. Like it's been something that it's kind of been hard. It feels like it's going to be, if it hasn't happened already, it's been pretty hard won after, I'm feeling like years of really examining yourself and especially overcoming, I'm feeling mental barriers, because usually like swords, it's very mental. And then let me see what else we got here. Oh, strength came up again. Yes. And especially like with strength, I see, I mean, the heart especially kind of is like one thing that's making me pay attention. And again, it is a love reading, so it makes sense. But strength, it's like a call for you to have courage. Really have courage, especially during, I think Leo season should be ending pretty soon, come to think of it. Let me double check. Let me see. Okay, yeah. Leo season's a little late. It's literally ending in a week. So yeah, I'm feeling for the remainder of the Leo season. It's very much like a call for you to have courage. Like it's like, I don't know why, like Leo just really stood out to me. So the person could be a Leo, or it could be something to like keep an eye out for signs during the remainder of this Leo season. So like it's next week, you should probably like pay attention more to what makes you feel connected to a person. And then the next card I got for you is Judgment. And I just thought of Gregory Horror Show. Do you know my name? Judgment! Hope you don't mind. I like nerdy references. But yeah, what I'm seeing here is I'm feeling the call at this point for you to prepare for the person who is coming along in your path. I'm feeling during the remainder of this Leo season, it is very important that you pay attention, like learn how to pay attention to your instincts and how they work. Because paying attention to your instincts, then will make it easier to know if and when your person's coming. And especially, it'll help you make it easier to understand yourself, but especially yourself in relation to other people. Because when it comes to something like love, some transparency is required between you and the other person, as scary as it can be. So it's very much about paying attention paying attention to what revelations are coming to you in this period. And also, especially when you're with the other person, is make sure that you are coming in as whatever full expression you want to be, and not as an impression. So it could, like, that's one thing I'm feeling is like a revelation about the person could come as early as next week. Of course, for me, I mean, my batting like, I'm not really the best at timings personally, but my batting average when it comes to like things coming to pass, the average range tends to be about like 2 to 3 weeks. So maybe a bit more time you might want to add to it. But it's not. But yeah, I think it's totally possible that something like a sign could be happening within the next week. But don't hold me to that, because I have to say timing is like not my greatest suit. But I'm feeling the remainder of this Leo season will give you some more information, is what I'm seeing. And then finally, we got the King of Pentacles. So I'm feeling both the demeanor of the person and also the energy of what you need to bring to make it easier to bring this person into fruition. Because the King of Pentacles is very much like inner confidence. Yeah, I'll go over that in just a moment. Let me just finish this one and then we'll go over the beginning. Okay. So the King of Pentacles is about like your inner confidence. It may have an external manifestation, like be it abundance, like material abundance or financial abundance, but also in terms of like inner confidence and warmth. So it's very much like sometimes when it comes to like romance, like I mean, they often talk about like opposites attract, but more often than not, there's got to be at least like one or two things in common. Like, so it's in this case more so like attracts like. So in this case, I think it's a call for you as well to whenever you meet this person, be confident in your success, whatever that is. And I have one more card, which I will go over towards the end, but let me just go through the beginning again, and it should make it easier to break this down in terms of love. So, get back to the Ten of Swords. I feel like this has been something that's been a long time coming, for sure. There's been a lot of things that you have got. Oh my god. Oh my god, Ad. I didn't look. Okay, that's the one of the long ones. Shoot. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Well, bare minimum, I should get some water real quick, but I'm not gonna have enough time for that. It's only like 1 minute. Can I do it in 1 minute? You know what? Let's do it now. So, gonna do a little bit of a water break, and then we will be right back. So, stay tuned, everybody. Did I make it? Yes, I did. 30 seconds. Okay. I did it. Hey. Much better. All right, we're back. Thank you so much for your patience. But yeah, getting back to Evangelist 808's reading. So, yes. So what I was saying was, when it comes to love, kind of more general adage here. But yeah, when it comes to love, I know that more often they talk about like opposite attract, but it's often good as well to have a few things in common. So that way there is something shared. And in this case, I feel like it's a call for you to embody the energy of the King of Pentacles, which I kind of find to be very peaceful within himself and grounded and very, because with the King of Pentacles or like the upper royals, like the upper court cards in particular, like the kings and queens, they're very confident onto themselves, like, and especially when you get to like the Pentacles, a lot of those victories tend to be very, very hard won and very longitudinal in this case. So it really is a call for you to really be confident in your character and in your achievements, even if it's not like the traditional or the usual things that you would associate with success, like being traditional. So going back to the beginning, like you were asking, so the Ten of Swords, I often associate with like the completion of like a hard-won battle, usually finishing off something after a long struggle. Usually it's also another kind of hard-won victory, but then also it's one that may have taken a very big mental toll, so to speak. So it's like you've come out of the other side on the other side with something deeply healed. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like you really went through an ordeal, and then now like you've come to the other side and you're ready for something new. And this is where strength comes in. Now for timing, it's usually considered like the Leo season card. That's why I was trying to look up when Leo season was, and it's ending in a week. So it could be a reference to this season right now, that this is a time for you to like start paying attention to more of your instincts. What would you like to share in another person? Like really articulate what it is that you want to, like articulate with, like what it is you want to have with another person. Gotcha. Okay. So she could have major Leo placements. She could be a Leo sun in general. Because I mean, astrologically, it's like usually what it's associated with. I mean, you can even see like the Leo constellation towards the background, the green side of the card. Hey, G-Rock. But yeah, like whether it's timing or not, I'm feeling this sense of there's a time for you to like really pay attention to your intuition, and especially with what works and what doesn't. And I feel like a revelation about yourself will be coming pretty soon with the Judgment card. That's what I'm feeling. And so in the meantime, I feel like this is the next goal, is to get yourself settled into what you like, the person you would like to be. And what would you like to share with another person? Because especially when it comes to like being in a relationship, it's better to be embodied in your truth than to act however messy it can be, rather than being embodied in a ridiculous lie, as pretty as it is. It's just, you don't want your relationship being founded in the concept of a lie. And then I pulled out a song for you as well from the Queen Herbie deck. And I pulled this up for somebody else actually on a love reading, funnily enough. The song's called Housewife. Cue the violins, this is how my legacy begins. And Queen Herbie is married to somebody that is nicknamed Jedi Nick. But yeah, I'm feeling there could be like there can be love coming over pretty soon, and I think at this point, for right now, I think there's like a focus more on developing your confidence for sure. And the other thing that I'm feeling with this card in particular, well, because I mean, she actually is married. She's been married for like I think this point I think this year they celebrated like their 20th anniversary. They've been married for a while, but long story short. This song in particular, it very much is talking about like their very unconventional relationship, because in a way she enjoys her married life and simultaneously she has a life that is outside the average. I mean, she is the one that is the head now. Before she was like, they were like equal partners. They were part of a group called Carmen. But now they're equals will be in a different sense. Like Nick is more behind the scenes, whereas Queen Herbie is like the one front and center. She's the one who is rolling in the dough essentially. And it's very different from the traditional relationship. They also don't have a family either. None of the traditional structures. And what I'm feeling here is when you look for love, when you find that person, you don't have to force yourself to follow a script that feels ridiculous to you. And I know it sounds like common sense, but there are some people that just need a little bit of a reminder that like you don't have to be stuck on the same script that like your parents or your ancestors did. You can do something custom to your relationship and just meet the person wherever they're at. And also just pay attention as well, like what are you willing to be flexible about, and what are things where you have your hard limits? Like what are your soft limits and what are your hard limits? What are things that you can be flexible about, and what are things that are non-negotiables? Take some time and define those right away, so that way once that person comes, it's like, if they're like, whatever happens, you feel more confident both in how you see this relationship going, and how you where each of you can support each other, because it does take two to tango. You're both dreamers, you're both doers. You might as well help each other make things happen, right? So I know it sounds like I was like going round and round and round she goes. Where is she going? Nobody knows. But I hope this helps, because I believe in love. So I'm rooting for you. You got this. Okay, so that's what I got for you, Evangelist 808. Thank you so much for tuning in. And you gotta let me know how it goes. Of course. Gotta let me know how it goes. I mean, I had to put a disclaimer, like, timing is not my best suit, but, like, I hope at least it gives something that you can work with when you find your special someone. Why am I thinking of the song, Where's My Husband? By Ray. It's a good song, though. It's a really good song, though. Yeah, the grandma's like, your husband's here, but like you're trying to get married to a woman, so it's like, your wife is here. You got this. Okay. So, anybody else want a reading? I see the viewers going up and up and up been up. The media references are going up. All right. So for those who are new to the channel, I do my tarot readings twice a week, unless there's like a special holiday like the wheel turning. I do like the Celtic Wheel of the Year. That's what I personally celebrate. Or if there's a full moon or a new moon that hits. I didn't do it this past new moon / eclipse, but this next one, I'm probably going to do something. But yeah, and this next one I'm going to do something because like the 28th is hitting on a weekend, so it's perfect. But anyway, I do these twice a week. So I do Seer Saturday, which is like today, and then tomorrow I do something called an Oracle Forecast, which is when I pull stuff for the week, and then I do readings afterwards. This was a little different because I decided to start with the chat, which I don't typically do, but I felt like doing it because like the topic was just so interesting to think about. Of course, I'm also willing to talk about it on my Discord channel a lot more thoroughly if anybody wants to like shoot the breeze for a little bit. Because I like talking. Even though I'm gonna be very kind of quiet right now, but I like talking to people. I just find it a lot of fun to listen to other people's views, even if they happen to be very, very different from mine. So yeah, I do it just a week. And then unlike some YouTubers, which are like, or some streamers that are like, if you don't show up, you're deleted. I'm not that kind of person. So far this has worked for me. So you basically have until, so if you jump on the queue and you feel like, oh wait, I have to go pretty soon. If you send your question in the chat, be it you use channel points, which would be the easiest way for me to see it, or if you type it up like, hey, I've got to go, but here's my question. Or you can use my Discord. I have this thread, Tandra Sees Magic Circle. I have a thread called Tarot Q's and Q's. You can type your question in there, or you can DM it if we happen to be a part of the same forum. And then I can pull for you, and the recording will be on YouTube and Twitch. So you can play it back to wherever you had to cut off, and you'll see your answer right there. I never delete these. Twitch automatically deletes after like a month, I think. But I simulcast on YouTube on this channel here, DJMK Off the Air. So it's never gone. It's never gone. I never delete these. So if you want to find an answer to a question that I pulled for you earlier, go back to the old video. It's always there. But basically, if you have to if you have to dash and you don't put up your question, it's okay. Your name will still be on the queue until the next group of sessions. So for example, if you jumped on, let's say you jumped on Sunday and you forgot to ask me a question before you left, you just dropped off, maybe like you fell asleep and you forgot. That's okay. You're still on top of the queue until the next session. So you basically have like 1 weekend, like 1 week to basically come back and ask your question. You'll be in the top of the queue at that point because I kept you on the list. If you don't come back by the next session, that's when you're deleted and you're just gonna have to rejoin the next time you're online. So right now I've got one person who jumped on last week. So this person has until tomorrow. They'll be first in the queue by default. So whenever they show up, they're the next person regardless. So, but if they don't show up by then, they gotta come back next time and just rejoin the queue. That's all it is. You are so welcome. Have a good rest of your night or day or whenever. I have people from all over the globe. That's the thing. Yeah, have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning in. But yeah, that's basically how I work for those who are new to me. So if you happen to jump on and then you're just not able to stick around, that's okay. I'm not bothered. Just come back next time. And so far, a lot of people have done that, which I really appreciate. The system's been working pretty well so far. But yeah, it just feels so It feels so surreal. Like next month will make it a year since I started doing readings online. Well, I mean, to clarify, I have done readings online for a little bit, but mostly in context with like the ritual. If you dig back in the super duper old YouTube archives, I've done like full moon and new moon rituals. But that was like when that scene was very, very new back in the day. Kind of monopolized, but like it was also very, very new. Like Sage Goddess, Dr. Athena Parakis, if anybody remembers her. She was like the queen of those rituals. Like she did those every month like clockwork. I still tune into her sometimes. But yeah, I just jumped on there and I would just do her stuff, which I have yet to tune in for recent rituals, but whew, yeah, she went through a tail and a half over the past year. I'm glad she got her shot back, but whoo-wee, that was wild. But yeah, I did those for a little bit. I would do card pools. Some of my friends would tune in from California, which I really need to find some way to see them at some point. But yeah, I did those for a little while, and then I just focused mainly on the gaming because, like, after a while, it felt like I was like talking to dead air for a little bit. So I focused mainly on the gaming content, and it was going, but it was just my equipment was not the greatest at the time. Like I was running on like I had an older MacBook than this, actually. Super old MacBook. Could barely stream without it like sputtering every few seconds. But I somehow managed to do entire playthroughs with that. I even played through Barony with Tantalus Studios back in the day. If anybody remembers those videos. But yeah. Yeah, those were the days. Do not know how I managed to do all that, but there was that. And then the great spill of 2022. The great spill of 2022, that was rough. So essentially, I was on my way to work and my water bottle tipped over my backpack when I was on my lift. And unfortunately, my computer was on. And so the motherboard shorted. And if you thought the PS3 Yellow Light of Death was bad, MacBook Pros back in the day were even worse when it came to repairability. It was hell on earth. Like the odds were pretty good I was going to lose everything. Shout out to Rossman Repair Group. At the time, they were headquartered in New York City. So I sent my laptop up there and prayed for a miracle. And thankfully, they were able to recover everything. They were able to fix everything. I think it was around like $300 or $400 that I had to pay for that repair, but I did not care. I got my laptop back. That thing paid for me. Like it came in spades. Like it paid. Like those repairs paid for itself. Because like I used to things like make videos. I wrote all of my grad school essays on that thing. I did so much on the laptop. I have the thing for 6 years now. I'm still using it now, even though I'm using this laptop here. And then eventually it was just too much. It just kept on buffering when I streamed. It was like encoding overloaded, like it was like getting that every few seconds. It was because, well, I figured out later it was because my laptop was pretty full of files. So I was like, what am I gonna do? Hard drives are way too expensive. I'm too broke. And then, surprise, somebody sent me a gaming PC, which is what I'm using right now. This beautiful thing. And that's what I've been using ever since for streaming. I do games, and I do cards. I still use the other one for like business purposes, but like this one's my streaming main. Unless I'm going out of town like I did with Japan. But yeah. Oh man. I don't know how I managed all these years, but yeah. And then it was a fateful moment last year. So I wanted to help my brother with a few things. He started a new business, so I wanted to help him with that. And literally like 48 hours before I was supposed to fly down to Florida, my grandmother passed away. And it was really hard. Like everyone was saying, you gotta do what you gotta do. Go down. We'll be here when you get back. And it's like, but my mom, she's kind of going through it. I can't leave her at her deepest time of grief, but it's like everyone's saying, like, don't change your business for this. Just go. And I was like, oh, okay. So I went. And this was like literally like fresh out of grad school. I was like 2 years after my graduation. And it was like the most lost I had ever felt. Most lost I'd ever felt. At that point, I just finished Middlebury language school. I went there for Japanese classes. And I was pretty burnt out at that point when I was going down to Florida. I did not want to touch a textbook for a while. I didn't watch any anime. I didn't listen to any J-pop. I did nothing. I was that burnt out. That burnt out when I finished. So I was like, what am I gonna do? I actually felt lost. I thought I made good headway last year, like during that past year, but then I thought like I killed my channel by not streaming regularly, by taking that 2-month break, by just not doing anything. Same thing with this channel, same thing with this summer. I thought I killed my channel for not streaming regularly every week. But no, that was not true. But anyways, I felt really lost. I was having a hard time fitting in, having a hard time like traveling around, etc. It was just a difficult time all around. And so I felt like at that point I had pretty much nothing to lose. So I pulled out this deck. And I think also my Ice Oracle deck. Like whatever decks I had with me, I just pulled it out. And I also used my phone as a second camera because I could do that with my other setup. I pulled that all out. And then I just started streaming card pools. At that point, I had nothing to lose. It was just me in a bathrobe. I was kind of like, I mean, you should have seen my face back then. Like, I was just done. I was just done and tapped out as hell. I was like, what is life? What is this life? What does this come to? And it's like, at this point, if my channel's dead, my channel's dead. But if I manage to save it somehow, then okay. Let's do this. So I started pulling cards. And then people started tuning in. Boom, 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 boom. I was reading people for 4.5 hours. People love their tarot here. People love their tarot here, okay? But bruh, yeah, I was on that seat for 4 hours. I forgot to eat breakfast. I did not move because I did not want to lose the streak of people coming in. I had no idea about how many features there were on Twitch. Twitch is like my main audience, although of course I have YouTube as well. But like, I just had no idea. No idea. I thought it was going to be like a one and done where I did the video and then where I basically spiritually came out of the closet and pulled cards for people. Like, I thought nothing of it. I just like felt like as if it was just like, I have nothing to lose. And I was kind of right. I had nothing to lose, but then there was so much that I gained from taking that risk. Yeah, I'm still processing that. Like so I went from just barely scratching the single digits to boom, hitting 40 in one day. 40 subs in one day. That's crazy to think about how fast that happens. And then I keep streaming cards. I keep streaming pulls. And then next moment, it's boom. 100 subscribers within, I think it was around, let me see. It was like around, yeah, I want to say like around November was when I got 100 subscribers. I had the moment saved as a short. I have it downloaded on my phone when it happened. And then by December, literally a few days before Christmas, it was around Yule actually. Yeah, when I hit Yuletide, that was when I hit affiliate officially. December 21st last year. That's just, it's really surreal to think about. It really is surreal to think about that's what happened. My life is so different, and it's all thanks to you guys. All thanks to you. There's a reason why I am always expressing my gratitude every chance I get, because you all have made such a big difference in my life. I actually have the video, I still have the video saved as well of that fateful stream that I would love to play for you guys when the anniversary happens, which is not that far from now. But yeah, for right now, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for giving me a purpose, for giving me the courage to keep going. And I made some new friends thanks to that pursuit. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being so awesome. And for making such a difference in my life. And I hope whatever readings that I do in the future, that they continue to be insightful and very centering for you. That's my wish for you guys whenever you tune into this. I've always said, whether you're a poor nerd or a rich nerd, you are always welcome at my table. I consider this a spiritual service. And thanks to you guys just showing up. Now it's not to the point of, well, a continuous income yet. That's why I'm starting a new job in exactly 1 week. But You all have given me the courage and the strength to actually find that new job. So thank you again for being such supportive people. So it looks like I think things have kind of wound down on my end. So unless there's like a surprise tune in the next 3 minutes. even though tomorrow I'm going to be doing some collective messages, I might do one here. All right. I'm going to give you guys until the ad break to jump on the queue for anybody else who wants a reading tonight. For those on Twitch, it's !join. And then for those on YouTube, you just comment your question. But in the meantime, I might give myself a little bit of a break and stretch out. And then we shall see who jumps on. If nobody jumps on, then we'll do a collective read and then end everything. But if somebody does jump on, y'all get a read. So please feel free to enjoy the music if you happen to be subbed or a VIP. And in the meantime, I'm going to go stretch. So be right back. Enjoy the chill hop. All right, welcome back. And I just kind of got a crazy idea for a possible thing that I could do with the channel. For those who are into Japanese culture, do you guys remember the thing called Rajio Taiso, where it's like a Japanese exercise that's been around for 100 years now, actually. I think this year it's celebrating its 100th anniversary, but it's basically a series of exercises that people do to keep their joints nice and limber. And it's been scientifically proven as well that it really helps with your mobility and flexibility. And depending on when you play certain games, usually it's like RPGs, like Animal Crossing's the most famous one. If you happen to like play first thing in the morning and then you turn on the TV and then there's these exercises that people do, that's Rajio Taiso or Radio Taiso. I figured if there's some way to do this, like I know like Fasani has like the Move It redeem function. Similarly, if I could find at least like some way to maybe like auto turn on the Rajio Taiso stretch notification or something, that would be kind of hilarious to do. I mean, that thing takes like 3 minutes, but which for real time with like for an RTS would be kind of hard to do, but for something as slow as this, I think it might be worth doing. Maybe I'll make it a weekend thing. And I have not been good at the gags lately. I have a bit of a joke usually when it hits the ad period, which I have not been using a lot lately. So as you saw earlier, I am also a world religion scholar. So if I have an issue on the weekends, Fridays, it's ad masjid. On Saturdays, it's ad temple. So we've been in ad temple a couple times now. And then Sundays, it's ad church. Because like Friday, it's the Muslim day of prayer. Saturday, it's usually the Jewish Sabbath, and then Sunday, it's the Christian Sabbath. Of course, if there are any other special days of the week that I have no idea, let me know. I might change names, but yeah, that's why I nicknamed these. So, ad temple. So with that, G-Rock, you are, I think, my last person of the day. So go ahead and tell me, what is it you would like me to pull for you? Now the general, you always pick general. I always keep forgetting because I mean, like, it feels like the G in G-Rock stands for general. But that's okay. Sometimes people like a general, and there ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm trying to think about what to prep for post-stream snackies. That is the one thing that I recommend, especially if you're doing something as energetic as tarot reading, is have a snack on standby afterwards. Because this is energy work. But yeah, watch. People are gonna like all of a sudden like tune in right when I'm finishing up. It's like boom, 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 boom. It's like can I get a reading? Can I get a reading? And it's like, why weren't you here like 20 minutes earlier when I was asking for them? Every time. Okay. The wands really want to come out today. The wands really want to come out today. Okay. Let's do this. Woo! Excuse me. Okay. So, these two jumped out. The Knight and the Two of Wands. So, clearly, there is something that you have been really wanting to go for here with the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands, it's usually when you're really in pursuit of dreamsland. you're really in dreamland, but you're really in the depths of pursuing that dream. So really ride the wave of that inspiration, that enthusiasm, because it'll take you very far. And let it run wild like this horse in the back. Carry that enthusiasm through. And then the Two of Wands, it's a decision that you gotta make, but it's more so about progress in this case. It's more so kind of a choice of like, do I stay or do I go? Like, should I stay or should I go? Or which adventure do I go on at this time? Both options in this case, unlike the Two of Swords, where it feels like an impasse, where like neither thing looks really good. Like it's just like kind of like picking like the lesser of two evils, or whatever is not gonna suck as much, essentially. Two of Wands is like, both options are great. Now it's like they both look good. I think I still have this option down the line. It was like, which one do I just prefer going on now at this time? Like what do I want to do? What do I want to do at this point? And then you just dive in and go for it. It's kind of like those people who they just spin a globe and it's like, wherever my finger lands on, I go. And just pray you don't hit an ocean. Just wherever it lands on, I go. Which is kind of funny because there's a globe in the bottom. There's a globe and a Volkswagen Beetle on the bottom. Like Volkswagen bus in the bottom. But yeah. Yeah, it's just like being open to adventure. And then we got the Eight of Swords. So, Eight of Swords, I feel like it's like oftentimes a warning of watch out for being trapped by your own thoughts, because it turns out the trap's not real. Because as you can see, the trap's in a mirror. It's not actually there. I admit my manga tarot is actually a little more terrifying, because it's like, it's a reflection of like a woman who is like stabbed by several swords and she just can't look at it. It's like, because it just looks too painful. In this case, it's just like, it's a reminder that whatever things that have been holding you back. Hey, Jenny. I'm pretty good. Good to see ya. I think I might have energy for one more, so if you want to jump in for a reading, you're welcome to. But yeah, getting back to the Eight of Swords for G-Rock. If you've been feeling stuck, remember it's a story. It's a story. And ultimately, it's a story that you can rewrite and let go. The string is a lot looser than it looks. So, likewise, you can let go of the things that that are not helpful. Obviously, Sometimes if you've lived with a certain story for a long time, it could take a little bit for it to adjust that is your new story. Like what I was saying earlier about how different my life has changed since 1 year ago. Like, well, September will make it 1 year. With how different it has turned out with before feeling really lost about what my career is up until now I'm pulling cards every weekend. Something I just never thought I would do, by the way. I thought it was going to be just closed off, spiritual practice, only for my friends, maybe the occasional family member who understands. For the most part, I never thought it would be like a public forum like this. So, and now I've rewritten the story to like now I'm a public card reader. Like I'm doing this. I'm doing it now with you guys every weekend. And it's fun. And I love doing it. Dramatic change from this to this. So, likewise, I think there can be a chance to, whether it's through these adventures, or maybe letting go of those thoughts before you go on the adventure, before you start your adventure, that this could be the way that you can finally get those limiting beliefs, to get them off. So it's not an albatross, even though these are crows, but still. So, final card here in terms of tarot. Ooh, got the Two of Cups. I like this card. It was actually my lock screen for a little bit. Two of Cups, I find that to be more of the love card than actually the Lovers, funnily enough. But it's about like kindred spirits, friendships, connections, be it youth community, soulmates, just being conscious of love everywhere and the connections all around you. And I feel like there's one thing when it comes to like bolstering your dreams and stuff, is remembering who's in your corner. Now, it doesn't mean like total dependence on that one person who gets your dream, but instead it's more so a reminder of what it's all for. What it's all for, because those dreams came to you for a reason. And I said dreams. We often focus on the singular, but in reality, I think people have multiple. People have multiple adventures. People have multiple dreams. And it's okay to dream big in multiple senses of the word. And I know we tend to like act as if like move inside, like make your moves in silence, working out, sleeping in, taking vitamins. If this is vitamins right here, I'm going to laugh my ass off. But anyway, there's very much a talk about effort and solitude, when really a lot of these things are a community effort. Like whether even if you happen to be working solo, like doing, let's say, for example, streaming online. Somebody had to make the program that you're using to stream the stuff in the first place. Some people have had to make the laptop or the device that you're streaming on. Somebody had to make sure the servers were online, so that way things actually worked. Somebody had to make whatever material that you're putting up, be it yourself or someone else. Even getting references. Somebody had to write them. Somebody had to upload them. Like it or not, we are all dependent on each other to a certain extent. So this is kind of telling myself as much as you. It's okay to reach out for that extra love and TLC. Whatever that looks like. So, final card for you. I got my Queen Herbie prescription. Busta Rhymes. Got a lot of want to say a library. If there's something you need to say it. If you're an artist, we need your art. If you just just in general, if there's something important that you need to say it. It's better to be heard, maybe taken a little wrongly before people finally understand, than it is for it to remain unsaid and then things aren't settled. So say the things that need to be said. Say what you want to say. Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. So that's what I got for you, G-Rock. Okay. Oh, my music is cutting out again. There we go. Okay. So, that's for G-Rock. And now, SLG Jenny Vlogs. I think you're the last person of the night, unless somebody happens to sneak in the last minute. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I guess there's been a few people. SLG Jenny Vlogs. Jenny. Yahoo. Okay. All right. Jenny. I do not watch Big Bang Theory, so. Okay. Going once, going twice. Okay. I'm gonna. Oh, there he is. There you are. General reading for my best friends Fergus. When reach out to me, call what time, day, or month. Unfortunately, that is kind of hitting that is technically kind of hitting my third-party surveillance. And also one of my weak points, which is dates. I'm not the greatest at that, unfortunately. So, yeah, I can't do that one. I'm sorry. I mean, I could check on vibes. That's the most I can really do. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, because like presuming a person's actions, that is a little bit of a violation of of my free will clause. Because like the cards already are showing me like infinite infinite possibilities, and this is one of infinite possibilities here doing this. But then presuming somebody's actions, like when I pull, the moment I pull, it kind of basically already kind of changes the trajectory of things. Things could happen sooner, things could happen later, things could happen not at all, because the one factor that these can't cover is free will. Because you could hear the stuff that I pull, and then you just throw it out the window. So that could happen. Or you follow everything to the T, and it might still not pan out the way it did. Or you follow everything to the T, and then it happens literally immediately afterwards. It's like, that's how variable this medium can get. And that's the thing that not a lot of readers tend to talk about. But, you have any other question, though? Because, I mean, outside of, like, third-party surveillance or, like, dates, I'm pretty much open to anything, really. Okay, let me double check my chat. I see. Well, I guess I could do like at most maybe just a general check-in on Fergus. I can't really like do like a full attunement to Fergus though, because like I don't have his consent, but just like a general energy, that's the most I can really do at bare minimum. I can't definitively stay his status though, so like it's better that like if there's any way that he can like reach out to you, that's the better method, honestly. But that's really the most I can really do with the ethical limits I have. Because I mean, this is like the other thing of like more things about like that tarot readers don't really talk about is that some people might have the capability of maybe going to the point of that kind of information, but ethically it just doesn't feel good. Like energetically, certainly it doesn't feel very good, because you're attuning to an unknown quality at that point. You don't know what kind of person this person is. You don't know what the demeanor is. You don't know what their practices are. Like or even like if you go as far as like spirit guides, they might not even allow you to go as far as that. Like there's so many factors that could happen if you try a third party reading, especially if there's like somebody who's like not really into this stuff, or if it's not like, again, like no consent. So I'm gonna have to put like a little bit of a disclaimer on this poll that this is not the most practical. So like if you can find some way to get in touch with him like via online or something, but this is what I can really give you at most, and I really hope you find some way to like reach out. Was the move recent, or was it a while ago? Oh, okay. Gotcha. So I got a couple of cards for you. I mean, from what I'm seeing, he's not doing too bad. And what I think the biggest thing I could suggest is, suggest like if there's like a piece of advice here for you, I think. So, first off, I got the Queen of Pentacles. And Queen of Pentacles is a very nurturing card. Like it's like almost like mother energy, very supportive energy. So I mean, it's suggesting to me that like the move has been pretty good from what I can tell. And it symbolizes as well like a self-made person, someone who's very strong in their community, very grounded, very down to earth, someone who's very secure, has a very mothering energy. Of course, mothering energy is not limited to the feminine, but just has this very nurturing kind of spirit from what I sense with this person. There's like this is very deep loyalty to this person too. And I could see why you miss them. And the piece that I got for you is the Nine of Wands right here. And I usually see it as a one last push. And I say, like, especially if you happen to have his full name, I say keep trying. Not here, of course. Don't put his full name here. But if you have Fergus's full name, I say maybe like try searching a few other places like in social media. Like if you happen to have his old number, maybe try WhatsApp, or if you have Facebook or Instagram, or if you have to remember like the name of some like website he started or business he started or something that he described or something. Like, I say keep persisting. See if you can find him. Because I mean, I'm sure like especially if you had like a really amicable relationship or something, there might be some way that you could reach out, maybe like an old email. Like there's many ways to get in touch with somebody nowadays. It's really hard to, I mean, it's a con, but it can be a pro. It's really hard to really disappear in today's society. So I'm sure there could be some way that you can reach out to him, whatever that is. So I say keep up your determination, and maybe like send a message in like, hey, I've been thinking about you. I miss you. Can we chat sometime? So that's one thing I'm really finding. And then the other piece of advice that I'm getting via the Queen Herbie deck that I shuffled out here. This is the one time I'm going to have to say the whole name. Part of my language. Obituary. Success is in the mistakes. So you may have to get ready for the possibility that he's changed dramatically, probably. Like there might be a dramatic change where in terms of perspective, in terms of like how he sees himself in reference to other people, especially if it's been like a period where he really integrated with the culture of the country or the city. There may be there might be some differences in terms of how he approaches things. And there could be some catching up that you might need to do. Because, I mean, especially since he might have been away for a while. And it's okay. If anything, it's kind of a really fun thing to do sometimes. It's like you're getting to know the person once again. Because now he has new wisdom from being in the country that he can share with you. Now he has new experiences that he can share with you too, if you ever decide to visit Vietnam yourself. And overall, it's a reminder to yourself too that you too have expanded as a person. And so, if anything, it's permission for you to expand too. So when you meet each other, you still recognize each other, but now you're ready for that next adventure, whatever that is. So I know it's not the answer that you're looking for, but I hope at least it helps you, give you some encouragement to keep trying. Because I'm feeling like this relationship that you want with your friend, I think there might be some way that you can bring it back. Whatever shape or form it ends up being. So, best of luck, Jenny. Alright, so with that, I believe we are pretty much done. Yeah. So I'm gonna pull a collective message real quick. I'm actually feeling more of an oracle card today. A little different. Oh, hey Fern. Right when I was about to That's how it happens. It's like I'm about to do one final message, and then it's like boom. Somebody jumps in last minute. So you're basically next because Shadow Star hasn't shown up yet. So what would you like to know? Yeah, I know. I was like, I'm ready to close up shop. Been stressed lately. What's a good way to ground myself when people keep taking advantage of me? Excuse me. I mean, usually I'm not exactly the kind of person who is all like, let me, like, about like ridiculous masking. But in this case, as I did during the last year of my employment before I left, the way I've been doing it is like pretending I had a costume that I was pretending to be an actor about to play a role. An alter ego. An alter ego. That's one way of doing it. I feel that. The only reason why I was even able to do that all was like pretending that I was like a thespian, because I was a thespian at one point. So it's like I was acting as myself. Well, as myself, like it was like myself 2.0, and I kind of pretend like I kind of did like this ritual where before I left out my door, like I leave out my doorstep, I just put on like a invisible jacket. And it's like, okay, I'm ready to go. And that way, when I come back home, I could just take it all off. I kind of felt that actually when I did that. But yeah, obviously, if it doesn't align with your values, yeah, that's understandable. So let's see what we got here. Okay. Oh, another song here. All right. Let's see what we got here. So we got 3 cards for you, and then we got a couple of tarot. Okay, let's see what we got. Sorry, a couple of Queen Herbie. Sorry. I know how to speak. Okay. So, first we got 7 of Wands, which I'm feeling like this is like your situation in a nutshell. It's just like so much is going on, and it's like you need that protection for sure. So, I'm thinking like auric shields. If you know about shielding, John Henry. Oh yeah, from Hyun's Tarot of the Dawn. That's right. Kind of, but yeah, it's basically the grounding and protecting yourself card. So you're on the right track in terms of what you're describing. So like you need a little bit of support. Yeah, I forgot that was from the same thing. But actually, let me read the description of this card. It might give you some hints. Haters. They'll emerge only after you've made it to your perch, whipping their wands about and asking you to defend your accomplishments. Sometimes competition emerges as a result of shining brightly in the world. If you're feeling attacked after sharing your magic, it is important to remember that others likely want what you have. So stand up bravely and continue to do your beautiful thing. Mindfully call feelings of love and well-being into your body and create a protective bubble of energy around you. That's just what I was saying earlier. Remain synchronized and aligned with your bright vision and projecting a low-vibe negative states that others may be pushing. You don't have to accept their opinion as truth, especially when they are vying for your position. Check to make sure you are acting in a way that's aligned with your highest values, and when you know you are, don't let anyone stop you from achieving your dreams. Here's an affirmation. I am deserving of this success, and I will bravely shine my light into the world. Maybe the other 2 cards will tell you more. Let me see. Yeah, I understand. It could be too much. But insensitivity is how I got into this hellhole in the first place. We need our sensitive people. Alright, so we got the Knight of Swords. And then we've got the Nine of Wands. She's been coming out quite a bit today. Alright, so let me see the Knight. Okay. So, the Knight of Swords. This knight has one thing on his mind, and it's running towards his success. He's determined and passionate, articulate and intelligent, and he has an intensity that is hard to grasp. With the grace and speed of an athlete, he turns on a dime, and since he has no doubt in his sound logic, he succeeds. Are you bringing your belief in competitive assertiveness to your situation? How determined are you to accomplish this, and to charge ahead with your quick thinking and strategic decision-making? Strive for excellence every single day in order to bring a little of his magic into your life. As the all-powerful energies, you may run the risk of being overly forceful or domineering. Be careful not to hurt others with your impatience to win. If you're feeling scattered, distracted, or blocked, spend time organizing your thoughts and make sure that all your energy is hurtling in the same direction. I moved quickly to help others, and as I do, my dream expands. And I could have sworn I delayed it. Dang it. Hotel Trivago. Oh, man. But it's gonna be time to translate this thing. Okay. So, Nine of Wands, which is the last one. Which I said earlier, it's about resilience. Let me read this. Let me read the description. Don't give up now. You're almost there. As you round the corner towards success, something may surface that threatens your feelings of security and achievement. It's important to remember how far you've come. Don't see this minor deceleration as a symbol of failure. Step into your resilient last stand. One final push to complete this task, and tomorrow, stunning light, you can rest. In shadow, this card suggests that you're making things harder than necessary or being overly defensive. You may even be inadvertently choosing the more difficult path because you believe on some level that healing should be difficult. Ad for appliances. That's hilarious. Sometimes we become so enamored with our stories of rising up that our own shadows become romantic notions that we seek to defend. Let go of any ideas you have about navigating specific lessons on the path. Your time to relax into security and success is on the horizon. I push beyond my own perceived limitations and remain open and trusting as I do. Yeah, you see this now. Everybody's joining in. Hey, Sugar Plums. Everybody's joining in now. You're actually number 2. You're actually number 2, Sugar Plums. Your Shadow Star has not shown up. Yet. Alright. Okay. Alright, so Fern, I took some time to actually think about what's going on here in terms of these cards. So it's pretty obvious the biggest thing that I'm getting advice of in terms of how to siphon away the haters, so to speak, is obviously energetic or shielding. Intentionally shielding your energy. But the other two that I'm seeing here are Knight of Swords and Nine of Wands. So Knight of Swords, I'm feeling like... that's a good question. Oh, it's a good thing I have my book here. Because I have a section in here that I wrote down that talks about psychic self-defense. Let me see if I can find something in here that could be helpful. Wait, that was the other book, wasn't it? Shoot. I'm sure I can still find something. Give me one moment. But I know for one thing is in terms of like doing shielding without numbing, which is where I often use the metaphor of and I remember it was my other notebook, but it's okay. I think I should have something in here. But anyway, the method that I often use for like shielding without numbing is more so I set an intention for the shield before I cast it. Because if you're just casting for the sake of just having like a buffer, it could probably be an effective protection against whatever could be harmful, but at the same time it could also close off for anything that could be beneficial as well. So that's not a great protection either, because then it's like that's where the numbing comes in, is if you don't put a shield with a purpose, then that's how it happens. So there's multiple methods you could do this. You could do like the classic egg formation. You can also do a favorite symbol. You can invent one, or you can find one through antiquity that you really connect with. That's another way you could do that. Let me see what else. Other things I could really think of is like having, especially if you find that it's very, the more I do that, the more I think I'm just leaning into isolation and can't rely on anyone but myself. And I think this is where the Nine of Wands and the Knight of Swords comes in, is that the other thing that you need to do is find some ways to challenge that notion. Like it might not always be things that immediately come to you per se, but like find small ways that you can challenge that notion that there has to be, or not really challenge that notion. Hold on. There's some words coming. Okay. I think I might have something. The thing that I can really think of is you showing up here already is challenging the notion that you can't rely on anyone but yourself. Because already, like, you coming over here, that's a reliance on myself as a channel and on the divine as well. So that's already a reliance on others. Like, you communicating with the divine is also a reliance on others. So that already is a disruption of the notion of not being able to depend on others. And then I think also taking some time to also slow down and do a cleanse of whatever's serving you. Like, imagine like the water cleanses off all the things that you don't need. It's like letting it go. Water is a great purifier. That's another thing. Well, the thing that I'm feeling more, especially with the Nine of Wands, is like this feeling of like challenge the notion. I'm feeling the sense of challenge the notion. Challenge the story. I do not know why I felt like reading this, but here we are. So, I'm feeling this sense of like this frustration can be connected to a part of reconnecting with vocation. The three most mistaken beliefs about vocation, according to Wiccan priestess Katrina Messenger. I was lucky to meet her in February. She was really cool. Number 1, vocation is reserved for the pious and the martyr. Not so. Anyone can have one. Number 2, vocation is unrelated to talents and gifts. In other words, you have to sacrifice your desires to live your purpose and meaning, aka what you enjoy and what you have to do can't coexist. I'm already disrupting that notion just from being here. No. Number 3, true vocation is only possible through extreme belief in isolation. No, we'd lose a lot of people with that notion. So, similarly, I think writing out that story of like, can I not really rely on myself? It's like, no, you showing up here already is disrupting that notion. It's already erasing that notion right there. So this is the challenge to it. So I think the thing that can help you reinforce your reinforce your protection, as well as revise the story that might be making this stuff come up more easily, is challenge those notions. Challenge those notions is what I'm seeing here. And thankfully, I got a couple of badass Queen Herbie songs that could help in disrupting that notion. And that is hilarious, okay? Busta Rhymes and Mission. That is hilarious. The thing is, if I shut out all connections, I start to feel my desire for it go away. I think that wouldn't be all that great. I feel at peace and can be very happy on my own all the time, but I think I keep opening up for other people's evaluation so I don't live in my own delusion. I have an inner compass, but I think that with epistemic humility, I need peer review. I'm not saying isolate. No. I'm not saying isolate. I'm saying more so, it's like, it's partly be more selective about your peer review, because there's a reason why there's a vetting process when it comes to peer review. And then the other thing is, take the peer review as an opportunity instead to actually reignite connection, as a chance to challenge notions that might have been unhelpful to the connection in the first place. That trend towards isolation. I mean, again, you showing up here already is starting that disruption. You don't have to do it like an entire laundry list. Just start with the ones that are the most obvious right now, and the rest will come later. Yeah. I also recommend maybe like doing some doing like a bit of like journaling or some expressive movement, along with some like drawing or writing things out. And I'd also say maybe, I feel like finding an activity that you can do publicly, and then it makes it a much more chill atmosphere to start disrupting those notions that haven't been as supportive publicly. Baby steps. Like, I mean, can you imagine? We all went through isolation during the lockdown, and that was not easy to get. That was not easy to get through, right? But eventually, yeah, Hyun's pretty good at that. But eventually, you have to realize that fear and reinforcing it as like, this is who I am, is not going to be helpful. So I recommend this one YouTuber. This is my suggestion to you. Check out this channel. She's called I Understood. She does these videos from the series called The Soul Salon, and the number one thing that she works on is the fear of being seen. It's not a fun life. That I can say from experience. It's not fun. Because like, what do you choose invisibility for? Like, knowing that you could end it at any time. That's one thing. But then like choosing invisibility as in like, Maybe it's just me though. I don't know. I'm kind of an ambivert because I might struggle with. So I mean, I'm still kind of like my mind is like still partially in lockdown land a little bit. That I'm still. I'm starting to come out of it again. No thanks to not having a full-on job for almost a year. 99% introversion. That is a lot. What the? Then how are we talking? How are we and Hyun talking to you then? That's my question. Still though. Then that might be a good place to start. Like, how, like, true, but still, like, the fact that we're even talking like this, maybe this might be a good place to start. Like, what makes you comfortable talking with, like, me and Hyun, for example? And then that can make it easier to, like, magnetize more people that could be more understanding. I don't know. I guess. I don't know why runes seem to work pretty well for you. So let me see if there's any rune that could like give me a hint. Okay, so we got dagas. That's upright. There's one last one, and then I gotta get to sugar plums, and then we'll do a collective reading, and then we will go. So dagas, that is in the 8 of tier. Come on, dagas. Come to mama. Thank you. Okay. Dagas. The dawning of the day. The awakening. Probably, yep. Yep, that's healing for ya. But anyways, for dagas, simple side up, which it was, means the light at the end of the tunnel. New beginnings. Believing in yourself even when others doubt you. A sudden opportunity to shine or succeed. Dagas, whose name means day, was the radiant son of Naut, the goddess of night. Each dawn, Dagas rode his shimmering chariot, drawn by his white steed, Skin Foxy, whose name means shining mane, bringing in the dawn. The Anglo-Saxon rune poem, the only one to describe Dagas, refers to the rune as the Lord's messenger, reflecting an attempt by scribes to Christianize the rune poems. The light of Dagas is seen as shining on rich and poor alike, offering them hope. Dagas is a very exciting positive rune, whether it refers to improving health for you or a loved one, a new career opportunity, especially after job loss, bankruptcy, or redundancy, or a sudden revival in love or good luck. When Dagas appears in a reading, Dagas promises life will get better if you just keep going and have faith in yourself. It looks favorably on learning new skills, retraining, study opportunities, or pursuing a new career, and promises a better situation concerning a young person. It's a good sign for overcoming addictions, debt, fears, phobias, or depression, finding a new friend or love that will change your life, joy in pregnancy and through children, and amazing good fortune ahead. And now I'm thinking about, now I just saw this last part of the reversal. If your trust has been shattered, reach out to those who are there for you rather than shutting yourself away. And yeah, it does remind you of the through cards. Basically, the only way out is through, but like, there's hope. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. So, remember, Fern, this is not going to be forever. This is not forever, okay? Hang in there. And I think the rune reinforced the notion of maybe trying a new activity. So I think I might second that. I think I'm gonna have to reinforce that again. Try something that you really want to try, and like a drum circle or something. Make it fun, make it low stakes. Have fun with it. I know, it's a lot. It's a lot. But it can be done. Hey, there you go. There you go. Yep. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. And you find a drum circle. Drum circles are fun. They're pretty chill. Anyway, thank you for your patience, Sugar Plums. I think you're my last person of the night. Unless somebody jumps in all of a sudden. No problem. I know. It's not much. It's like, it's not much, but like, what am I supposed to do? It's like very bluntly like, yeah, little, exactly. Little goes a long way. And it's like, unhelpful story. Hi. New story. Hello. I like my cute Kumamon plushie. He's always in my company on my desk. Yep, so cute. Oh God. Oh man. I mean, I get the social exhaustion, and yet like if you keep encouraging it, I don't know. Anyway, okay, Sugar Plums, here we go. So life is good, super good. I was thinking how far I've come from where I was last year. Yeah, celebrate that. Anywho, I meet a person I used to work with. He wasn't bad, but not great either. He hugged me and said hi to me, but I just left it at that. Huh. Okay. Wow, that already is a dramatic difference from last year. I remember last year. Hi, Cinnamon Bunny. Welcome to the stream. I'm actually about to close up pretty soon, so if you want a reading, it is !join. I think you might be my last person though, so if you want to jump in, now's the time. There's one link I was trying to copy and paste in one Discord. Aha, there we go. Tell you what, Cinnamon Bunny, come back tomorrow. I'm streaming tomorrow. Same time, same place. So come back. I do tarot readings every weekend. Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, Sunday nights every night. Eastern Standard Time. I also do them off camera too. Oh, okay. So, I usually start around like 7:30-ish, Eastern Standard Time. And then I basically just go until like, I typically tend to go until maybe like 11-ish. Usually. But I have been cutting off a little sooner. Because sometimes it could be like dead air for a while. But yeah, most of the time I tend to stream in the evenings. So yeah, and then the rest of the time I do gaming streams. All right. Thanks, Cinnamon Bunny. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Then I spent the rest of the week thinking how odd it was I had seen them as I have been reminiscing and stuff. Fast forward to last week, one of the people I didn't like at all, sorry I have to mention I removed them on Insta, they had saved 2 of my videos. Not even a like or a follow. These videos weren't even connected, so he would have scrolled. I blocked so fast. Blocked them everywhere. Just went on a block spree last night of people I didn't like at the workplace. Okay. Oh, okay. It got a little split up because of the character limit. I got it now. Okay. So, gotta start at the beginning again, and then whatever time it takes to put in part 3. Okay. So life is good, super good. I was thinking how far I came from where I was last year. Anywho, I meet a person I used to work with. He wasn't bad, but not great either. He hugged me and said hi to me, but I just left it at that. I then spent the rest of the week thinking how odd it was that I had seen them as I had been reminiscing and stuff. Fast forward to last week, one of the people I didn't like at all. Sorry I had to mention I removed them on Insta. They had saved 2 of my videos. Not even a like or a follow. These videos weren't even connected, so he would have scrolled. I blocked so fast, blocked them everywhere. I just went on a block spree last night of people I didn't like at the workplace. Okay, so that's 2 parts. So, waiting for part 3. Waiting for part 3. Okay. And I have a feeling part 3 is where the question kicks in. Okay. Aha! There we go. I have a feeling Guy 1 perhaps mentioned me, but I'm curious as to what Guy 2's problem is. Like, this guy made it very clear he didn't like me and was very on and off. Gosh. Also forgot to mention I got extremely sick that day. My throat was dry, and a cough came up. I'm recovering now, but holy, he was such a weirdo. Really creeped me out, like big time, like stalker vibes. So, what's your question? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I got backstory. I got backstory, but I didn't get the question. That's hilarious. Oh god. Okay, what is Guy 2's problem? What was their issue with saving my videos? Guy 1 also, but he's so fake. Oh my god. Okay, it is kind of, it's bordering on hitting my third person surveillance clause. It's kind of teetering, but it's not assuming anything to do with you, but it's like I could do a vibe check vibe check at most. Okay, so it's basically 2 people. Okay. All right. Okay. So, okay. Just want to make sure I understood. So, guy 1 was the hugging guy you saw earlier, and then guy number 2 is the Instagram one. Okay. Got it. I think I have a little bit of like a mental spread that I'm going to do here. On TikTok? Okay. And I'm on TikTok too, funnily enough. But bro, I didn't know people actually use it like that. I mean, that's the thing with TikTok. It's unfortunately the recommendations tend to be kind of random with TikTok compared to something like YouTube. It's way too random. Ah. Oh my gosh. True. I've done accidental taps though, where I just refresh the whole feed. So. Yeah, but honestly, I just don't get. I even though I started re-uploading on TikTok again over the past month, I just don't get how the algorithm works anymore. I don't get it. Hey, TikTok in general is just weird. It's just me though. Like ever since that ban. Oh, have a good night, Yukiko. Thanks for tuning in. I'm back tomorrow. Okay. So I'm feeling guy number 1, guy number 2. I think it's like maybe like the bridge between these 2 situations. I might get clear what the middle card is once I actually pull more. And then suggestion, deal with the situation. All right, let's do this. Okay, and then we'll do some Queen Herbie later. All right. So. This is kind of hard, I will say. I'm actually stumped. So, for guy number 1, I'm getting the Ace of Swords. Okay, let me see. So Ace of Swords in this case, I mean, I usually think about it in terms of like prime ideas, but in this case here, I think it's like it's kind of talking about in terms of like the bridge between like your synchronicity with between you thinking of him and then the next one when he showed up. So I think it's kind of like a manifestation of that synchronicity, in my opinion. And then Three of Cups, I'm feeling the sense of like a connection or like a community connection, but it's possible that he might have been going about it the wrong way with how uncomfortable you've been feeling about it. Then again, I'm not exactly the person that like blocks unless it's like absolutely necessary, like for like bots and stuff. So I'm not the best person in terms of like that kind of dynamic. I guess I've been lucky in some respects. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure. It just feels like there's like some sort of like there might have been like some connection he was attempting, but like not it like but just not in the greatest way possible. Not in the vibe that you're looking for. And then the third card I've got here for you, it's the Queen of Cups. Yeah, the second guy for the Three of Cups, yes. The first one I feel like is like a manifestation of the synchronicity you had for the first guy, is this one. The Ace of Swords. And the Three of Cups is like the second guy. Like I think it was like trying to, there's some sort of like connection that he probably was trying to do, but like not the greatest way of going about it. And then the thing in the middle is Queen of Cups, the dynamic in the middle. Like there's some sort of, I mean, obviously you're following your instincts here. So it's like there's something about like continuing to listen to said instincts. At this point, it might be good at this point to maybe like meditate on what has happened over this past week, and maybe make sure like the next actions you take come from a centered position rather than from alarm bells. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like and again, I think it's also because I'm getting to like the end of my rope as well, so it's like the words aren't coming as easily as they usually would. But it's kind of like whatever you do next with either one of these individuals, come at it from like being centered rather than just like a knee-jerk reaction. And then the other cards that I got are the King of Wands and the Lovers. They're jumpers. These two. So King of Wands could be like, the Lovers is pretty self-explanatory. It's like basically relationships, connections. Doesn't have to be romantic, but it's like a choice. Friendships, healthy boundaries, etc. So that's pretty self-explanatory about what dynamic you're looking for here. And then the King of Wands, that I think that's like the demeanor that you need to look for the next time one of these people comes into your life. King of Wands, in terms of characteristics, according to this, it's about an entrepreneurial spirit, a natural born leader, ideas that can be ultra successful, a creative visionary, timelessness, success, fire. So it's like a charismatic and very passionate person. Could be a male figure. Not 100% sure. So like, if you can remember somebody who has those characteristics, that could give you a hint as to what to do next. And then in terms of solution, what you could do. She's been coming out a lot today. The Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands. So it's like a combination of healthy boundaries and then also kind of making that one last push towards success. Like, you're almost there. You just need one last push and you're there. And it's like finding motivation in the face of difficulty. And then also it's kind of like, especially with the way they design this card, it's kind of like also like a caution to make sure that you're not reinforcing. I think this is where the Queen of Cups comes in, actually. It's to like pay attention to make sure that like you're not reinforcing any unhelpful past narratives. Of course, use a discretion and make sure like you're being safe, especially with like how creeped out you were. So like if you have that feeling, it's there for a reason. And also make sure that as well that the past is used as a file, not as a lens for your vision. I don't know if I'm making sense here. This is where I get like kind of poetic / fortune cookie. Ooh, that is not a... Okay. All right. So I got one song for you. Maybe I might give you a hint as to what to, or maybe a little bit of help to like help you pin down what to do next. And we got Daydreamer. I go to my happy place 100 times a day. So I say, especially since you just recovered from a pretty serious illness, I think, I think it might be important to let yourself get back to your happy place again. And that should make it easier to process your next moves, is what I'm feeling. Whew. But I mean, it sounds like you went through a lot, for sure. And I mean, I'm feeling basically just keep doing what you do. Like, keep doing what you're doing. Keep your eyes on the prize. Pay attention and trust your instincts. And keep looking for that proof. Keep looking for that proof. Keep looking for that reinforcement for those dreams. Whatever they are. I know it kind of went sideways for a little bit, but you're so welcome, Sugar Plums. So I'm going to go ahead and close the queue because peeps are like jumping in last moment. So I'm going to like, okay, I'm really closing up shop now. So collective. I'm feeling Archangel Michael today. So let's go ahead and bring him out. Okay. All right, Archangel Michael. What would you like the collective to know today? Okay. Hello, darling. Okay. All right. All right, beautiful. What would you like me to know today? And then one more Queen Herbie song for the road. All right. So I got 2 cards for us. That is so mean. Okay. So, first off, from Archangel Michael. Make a commitment. That's fine enough. It's like the same image as the back of the card. So, haha. All right. Make a commitment. And I've been feeling like I need to make a commitment too, so it's funny that this came up. So, you drew this card because you're asking about how to improve a situation. Archangel Michael advises you to fully commit to your desired outcome. If you're tentative or unsure if you're deserving or worthy enough, then the final result will be unsatisfactory. However, by making a commitment, you'll help spark movement in your life. Specific meanings include commit to your current relationship to create more intimacy and satisfaction, allow yourself to fully enjoy each moment, completely immerse yourself in an exciting project. If you're a musician or an artist, become deeply mindful of every note played or each stroke of your paintbrush. Be confident as you speak and write. And the prayer. Archangel Michael, as the angel of courage and confidence, I call upon you to lend me your strength. Allow me to commit to myself, my life, and my divine purpose. Please clearly guide me so I can fully open my heart to every experience. So let it be. Okay. So that's Archangel Michael. Thank you. And then our final Queen Herpy song of the night for the collective. We got Violet's Happiness and Confidence I Ooze. And it's like the kind of song where it's like, you take no BS. You are taking names and territory. They may take our lives, but they will never take our freedom. I never even watched that movie anyway, but anyway, I think I'm gonna end it here. The circle is open but unbroken still. Okay. Went for a while. 3 hours, almost 4. But you know what? It's fun. I enjoy this. So thank you for the entertaining questions. And I'll be sure to articulate more specifically what I can and can't do in the channel description for sure. Because a couple times where I kind of bordered and almost violating my own code here. But anyway, next time, tomorrow, we are doing the Oracle Forecast, which is pulls to prep for the work week and more tarot pulls. So keep an eye out for that. I'm also slowly but surely getting back into gaming again. We played some Escape Simulator last week. This week, I probably should continue with Stronghold, even though we're on a very hard battle right now. So I'm going to be very, very terrible. Try to remember the controls. That's gonna be fun. And then late this month, I'm hoping to do this by next week. By early September, Study Abroad vlogs will be up. So keep an eye out for some fun videos about my trip to Japan. A couple of charities of the season, Between Years Network and the Japanese Red Cross Society. The former is for a senior citizens network to help people support their local communities. The latter is for disaster relief in Kumamoto. In the YouTube description, I also put in a link for disaster relief in Colombia. I'm also working on trying to get some links for relief in Venezuela and Indonesia as well. So the moment I get to some of those charities, they'll be linked in the description as well as linked in my Discord channel. So keep an eye out for those charity links. And then my Japanese English online exchange group, we have added a second day for meetings. So now it's happening at Mondays and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we're having it twice a week now. So hopefully y'all can actually catch some language learning and maybe make some new friends and say hi and all that fun stuff. So keep an eye out for that. And then the Discord listening party, I put up the poll just today. So please feel free to answer in the public chat. It's linked, and put in your time of day as well as your preferred dates. Please, if you're going to do this, please make sure you convert your time of day into Eastern Standard Time, which is where I'm from, because then it'll make it easier to choose what time to do it in, and that way we can just chill and enjoy. But yeah, I decided, pretty much everybody predicted this, but I decided to extend my 2,000 yen special until the end of this month. So it's an August/birthday special. So the Moon to the Star offerings, the Sun already is offered at $12, but the rest of the tiers, like Wheel of Fortune, the Moon, Star, they are all offered at $12, which is the equivalent of 2,000 yen in Japan, which is basically the average of what I paid for my readings. Other ways you can help me grow, you can tune in to the channel, because I get ad revenue and turbo points. I also accept donations via Coffee and Bits. You can also purchase the items, which I list on the right side of the screen. Those are the original prices of back when I was campaigning. That these prices will change, and I'll be sure to change the images accordingly. And you can also subscribe via Twitch or Prime. Pro tip, please do it on a desktop, because if you do it on mobile, it's gonna charge the mobile app fees in addition to the Twitch subscription. So please do it on a desktop if you're gonna do that. So anyway, here's the places you can find me outside this channel. I have Blue Sky, I have Discord, I have TikTok, I have Twitch. I also have I also simulcast on YouTube, DJ MK Off the Air. The vlogs will be on my second channel, Theological Otaku. And I also write, thirdnerd.substack.com. I have a coffee shop, like I mentioned earlier. I also have a throne wish list. It was my birthday a little over a week ago. So if you want to buy a present to celebrate, I always like presents, even if it's late. Feel free to check out my wish list. throne.com/Tondrasia. I also have something called Hypesy, which is like a spiritual entrepreneur social media account / kind of like a phone line a little bit. It's another way you can get like readings like paid for. What I do here kind of scratches the surface, so I can go a whole lot deeper. So check out my coffee page or my Hypesy if you want to get a more in-depth reading. And finally, this episode was filmed in the homelands of the Nanticoke and Lenape peoples. If you want to find out more about whose indigenous lands are occupying, maybe contribute some data, my African and my Asian siblings, please contribute a little bit of information. It'll help people reconnect more easily. Please check out native-land.ca for more info about the project, as well as maybe connecting with some people. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get going. I know I've been here for a while, but thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you all had an amazing time. I certainly did. I'm gonna go enjoy a bit of food and some tea. But until next time, stay safe out there. Please stay cool, especially if you're in a hot environment like I am. Don't freeze if you're in the middle of winter. And, as always, may your heart be your guiding key. Till next time, I'll see you later. Bye-bye! For those who are watching live, stand by for a raid. And for those who are watching a replay, this is the end of the video. Bye now!